Hello, welcome to the Fanfic Majesty. If you want more content, you can follow me on Patreon. I will be uploading more content on there that will be exclusive. The link is in the description. Please support me. 2TS. Chapter 21. It's just an appetizer. Are you scared? Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Facing huge waves and tsunamis. Yuri thought of many moves, but didn't want to use them. 36 years ago, he was the son of Sea Overlord, Rocks and the heir of Rock's pirate. 36 years later, he is Rock's D. Yuri. Captain Rock's pirate. The man who will become the king of the world in the future. So, just say goodbye to the past. As long as the moves of the past exist in the past. Now, it's the new Yuri. However, this also gave him a headache. It is not that easy to create new moves at the level of an emperor. He is still getting familiar with devil fruit. Electricity. Electricity. Electricity and magnetism. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. I remembered that petite, beautiful and cute high school girl. Yes. Just use this trick to commemorate Sister Gun. The magnetic force sweeps across and the electric light shines. At this moment, the gold coin in Yuri's hand became the only light in the world. In the shocked eyes of everyone, the gold coins are moving forward with brilliant electric light. Hiss, hoo, boom. In just an instant, the lightning had crossed 100 meters and collided with the huge waves. No, it shouldn't be considered a collision. The moment it hit, the huge wave was pierced. Water has no shape. Even if a hole is penetrated, it will quickly be filled by flow from elsewhere. But something happened that went against everyone's common sense, and the huge wave that was pierced did not recover. At the edge, there is an invisible electromagnetic formation that blocks the flow of seawater. A huge wave hit, and the submarine passed right through the hole. Everyone was completely stunned as they watched the huge waves and tsunami gradually return to their original state and move away into the distance. Advertisement. It wasn't until the huge waves completely disappeared from sight that they slowly came back to their senses. Awesome. So awesome. Luffy's eyes lit up. Yuri. This move is so cool. Booming. Yuri boy, this move is quite cool. Ivankov winked. Consider joining us, your pretty little face is perfect for you. You guys, are you so strong? Crocodile's eyes were full of fighting spirit. It seems that a battle with you is indispensable. Hey, he is indeed brother Yuri. Buggy was arrogant and shouted at his subordinates. Young men, have you seen that brother Yuri used our gold coins for this move? Who? Buggy's gold coins are awesome. All the boys cheered, and there was chaos on the deck. Okay. Everyone. Whitebeard has launched an attack. It seems that the war has begun. We'd better get over there quickly. Luo's expression was serious, and he looked to the side of the polar bear man who looked at Yuri with the same eyes as Luffy. Babo, prepare to dive and go to Marineford. Dive. Yuri remembered the original work. A huge wave and tsunami swept through the marine headquarters, shocking everyone. It was Admiral of Headquarters Kuzan who intervened to prevent this crisis. Kuzan. Those with frozen fruit abilities. It is so powerful that it can easily freeze the entire kingdom. In order to help the people, he used his fruit power to freeze the entire ocean between the two islands. There are hundreds of kilometers between the two islands. Moreover, the ice surface can be maintained for up to a week. That is to say, it doesn't take a while. The sea for dozens of miles around the marine headquarters will be frozen. Diving at this time is more dangerous than the previous sea earthquake. I would like to make a suggestion, don't dive. Yuri expressed his thoughts. Not diving. But if this happens, we will be discovered. Bebo was puzzled. Bebo. Do as Master Yuri says. After the previous danger, Luo already unconditionally believed in Yuri's judgment. Oh well. Since we are not going to dive, everyone can continue to stay on the deck. Advertisement. Submarines, if they no longer dive, just float in front of the sea. After a while, everyone could already see the looming island at the junction of the sea and the sky. Phew, we're finally here. This journey has scared me to death. An attack as horrific as before should probably never happen again. That's definitely not the case. No matter how powerful Whitebeard is, Marine will not give him a chance to use his ultimate move twice. That's good. That's good. Thinking about it this way, Marine is pretty good. Yes. Whitebeard is too scary. If he attacks like this a few more times, I'm afraid Yuri won't be able to resist it. After all, he has just been released from prison and has not recovered much yet. Huh. Thank you so much, Yuri. Hey, what's that white line in front of you? What the hell? FK. The sea surface is frozen. Everyone looked at it. I saw a white line on the sea, spreading towards this side. Everywhere he went, the sea froze. Moreover, it was so fast that it instantly passed through everyone and spread towards the distance. The submarine that had been moving forward rapidly just now was frozen to the ground in the blink of an eye, motionless. Hiss. Ice that freezes the entire sea. Huh. Fortunately, I listened to Yuri's advice. If we were in the sea now. The sea was frozen this time even faster than the previous sea quakes. With the speed of a submarine, it was impossible to escape. Thinking of the possible consequences, everyone was frightened. Yuri feels more and more unfathomable. But now, the problem has arisen. The entire sea is frozen, how can the ship still sail? Everyone. It looks like you are going to move forward. We still have to stay and get the boat out first. This is the only way now. Everyone planned to advance in two directions. At this moment, someone exclaimed, "Look, what happened to the sky?" Everyone looked up. I saw thick clouds in the sky, turning from black to red. Then, red dots fell towards the ground one by one. What is that? The red dots were getting closer and closer, and everyone finally discovered that they were huge rocks dragging tail flames. There are many meteorites among them, which are hitting them. The attack is coming. Everyone, please stay away. Advertisement. Room Slaughterhouse. Luo Yidao cut off a meteorite with an ugly expression. Now that the pirate ship is trapped and meteorites are falling from the sky, he can only choose to resist. Luo, let me help you. Rubber bazooka. Luffy punched the meteorite away, then covered his red and swollen hands and cried out in pain. Hiss, it's so hot. It's so hot. Desert Sword. Death Wink. Murloc Karate 7000 watts punch. Crocodile, Ivankov, and Jinbei also took action one after another. Even so, there are still meteorites falling nearby. The explosion that occurred caused damage to many weaker pirates. The meteorite bombardment lasted for dozens of seconds. The whole sea was in a mess. Half of the pirates who followed Luffy died. First there was the giant wolf that blocked the sky, then the ice that froze the sea, and now the meteors that fell from the sky. Is this the natural disaster level battle that happened in Marineford? We haven't even reached the battlefield yet, but there are already heavy casualties. Are we really allowed to intervene in such a battle? The surviving pirates had doubts in their hearts. With their strength, they might be almost dead before they even reach the battlefield. Moreover, even if you go to the battlefield, what can you do? Not to mention helping to save Ace, it was difficult to ensure that he wouldn't die. Even strong men such as Crocodile have extremely serious expressions. The scale of this battle was beyond everyone's expectations. Even with their strength, if they participate in this battle, it is difficult to say that they will not be injured and die. Suddenly, morale was a little low. Even Luffy, who was extremely determined, had doubts when he looked at the corpses on the ground. It's just an appetizer. Are you scared? Yuri looked around and continued. Let me tell you, the core battlefield is far more terrifying than here. 4 emperors. Marine. Shichibukai. Many powerful men known throughout the world will take action. Each one has super strength to cause natural disasters. Once we step into the battlefield, every one of us present, whether it is the 7 warlords of the sea, Supernova, or the Revolutionary Army, may die there. This is a battle where we don't know life or death, and we don't know the way forward. If you want to survive on such a battlefield, you must have a strong will and not have any hesitation in your heart. A person who is hesitant is extremely weak. So, forget the fear and hesitation in your heart. Next, I will take you to the greatest war in this sea in the past 35 years. The battle at the top. Chapter 22. Is it unsafe on the ground? It doesn't matter. Let's go to heaven. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Is it possible that everyone will die in the battle at the top? Luffy murmured. At this moment, Luffy thought of the scenes of Sabayati Archipelago again. One by one, his friends were shot away in front of him. He never wanted to experience this feeling of losing a partner again. After this short period of getting along and fighting together, Luffy has regarded Yuri as a partner. If Yuri had to be sacrificed to save his brother, he would never agree. Luffy raised his head, looked at Yuri, and said very seriously, "So, Yuri, will you die there too?" Yuri was stunned for a moment. He saw an emotion in Luffy's eyes. He had felt that emotion before. That year, he was 10 years old. In an instant, Yuri understood what Luffy was thinking. This guy really treats me as a partner. Alas, when I traveled to this world, I never thought about having anything to do with the Straw Hats. Unexpectedly, fate is so elusive. Yuri, I don't want to establish a good relationship with the Straw Hats. Because, he will definitely get involved with Luffy and others in the end. After all, he is the protagonist of the manga, the destined pirate king, the king of the world. Once you have feelings, it's hard to start. Unexpectedly, by chance, everyone actually established a bond. Oh, it's not easy. That's all, let's do it step by step. Yuri put aside the thoughts in his mind, looked at Luffy, and spoke confidently. Of course he won't die. Advertisement. Not only that, I will end this war. The domineering words echoed in everyone's ears. Their first reaction was not that Yuri was overestimating his abilities. On the contrary, they even felt that what Yuri said would be done. After all, he has always been so mysterious and unexpected. Hey, Yuri boy is so handsome. Ivankov remembered the conversation he had with Dorag. That man with a great dream also wants to end the battle for the entire world. Mr. Yuri, I hope you can succeed. There is absolutely no need for this war. The Whitebeard pirates and Marine are at full-scale war. No matter who wins or loses, the entire world will undergo tremendous changes. It affects not only the two forces. More often than not, it is those countries and races that do not have the power to protect themselves. For example, the Fishman Island where he is. Now it is within the jurisdiction of the Whitebeard pirates. Once the prestige of the Whitebeard group is gone, those human traffickers will once again extend their claws to those beautiful mermaids. End this war. This guy really likes to talk big. Although Crocodile said this, he really believed it in his heart. Scare. Brother Yuri, it's so cool. Buggy's eyes were full of admiration, his head flew into the air, and he looked down at the younger brothers around him. Young men, do you see, this is my eldest brother, the captain of Rock's pirate, Rock's D. Yuri. Ho! Long live Captain Buggy. Long live Captain Yuri. Clear away the depressing atmosphere. The cheers of the crowd resounded across the ice sea. So that's what you thought. Luffy smiled and his worries disappeared instantly. He regards Yuri as a companion, so he must believe in his companion's strength. Oh, Yuri, take us to charge. Advertisement. Take us to rescue Ace. Take us to see the summit war that shocked the whole world. Luffy raised his arms and shouted to the sky. Luo looked at the groups of excited guys around him, his lips twitching. What a headache. Hey, don't you all care about the current situation? You can't reach the main battlefield safely and rescue Ace just by relying on your courage. Because of his childhood experience, Luo must plan carefully before doing anything. Now, a series of changes have disrupted his arrangements. This kind of deviation from the plan, the feeling of uncertainty in the heart, is so insecure. It's so troublesome. Luo, we can't just rush up. Just knock away all the enemies you encounter. Luffy waved his fist and was furious. The Straw Hat boss. Now the ship is stuck and we can only move forward on foot on the ice. On the way forward, we will definitely be discovered by Marines, and we will be bombarded and surrounded. Maybe there will be sea earthquakes, ice, and meteorites. Don't be anxious. Let's discuss it carefully and find a safe road. Luo Yi was anxious, but he really had no choice. Lo, you are good at everything, but you are too steady in what you do. In this world, strength is the most important thing. When something happens, just go ahead and do it. The loser eats the dust. The winner gets everything. This is the law of this world. As a time traveler who has read the original work, Yuri knows the nature of this world very well. To put it bluntly, whoever is forced to listen to whomever is forced to listen. Why Rock's pirate can dominate the sea is because it is strong enough. And why did it fall apart? Because it was defeated by a stronger one. Advertisement. As long as you are strong enough, don't worry about so much. Go up, it's done. But, Yuri is the boss. Now that the ship is stuck, we have no way to reach the battlefield quickly. Luo felt aggrieved after being told by Yuri. What can he do? He also wants to go up to A, but he is not strong enough. Haha. Since I said that I will take you to witness the world's pinnacle battle, I will naturally do what I say. It's not safe on the ground. It doesn't matter. Let's go here. Yuri stretched out a finger and pointed upward. Walking to heaven. Luo was a little confused. Master Yuri, my boat is a submarine. It can't fly. It doesn't matter. He can fly. Saying that, Yuri stretched out his hand. With him as the center, magnetism surged crazily. Kakaka. The ice made a breaking sound. The submarine, frozen in the ice, began to tremble violently. Under the wide-eyed gaze of everyone, it slowly floated up. Okay. Don't be in a daze. Upload it and I will take you to witness history. Everyone came to their senses and climbed onto the deck. Under Yuri's control, the submarine flew into the air, flying higher and higher. The ice surface is getting further and further away. The marine headquarters in the distance is getting clearer and clearer. Everyone can already see a large number of pirate ships around the island. You can also see yellow, white, red, blue and other colors of light shining from time to time on the island square. The war between the Whitebeard pirates and Marine has broken out. Chapter 23 Borrowing a Knife. Cut out the clear sky. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. In the world of pirates, there is a strange phenomenon. Whenever super strong people fight, the sky will definitely be filled with dark clouds. At first, Yuri thought that the author had drawn it like this on purpose to exaggerate the famous scene of the clash between emperors and powerful men. But after traveling through time, he knew the reason. The strong men in this world are extremely powerful. Whenever there is a battle, the energy and blood shoot up into the sky like smoke. Qi and blood belong to Yang, so naturally they are neutralized by yin rain. Therefore, every time there is a war, there must be clouds gathering in the sky, and dark clouds will overwhelm the city. The same goes for the battle at the top. The sky, which was originally filled with dark clouds, was now filled with dark clouds. This is very convenient for Yuri and the others. The submarine flies among the clouds and is extremely hidden. At their current speed, they could reach the battlefield in just a few minutes. Marineford. The battle is already in full swing. The captains of the Whitebeard group and the affiliated pirate groups entered the scene one after another. The Marine Third Admiral, the elite Vice Admiral of the headquarters, and the officers and soldiers launched an encirclement and suppression of Whitebeard's large fleet. The Whitebeard pirates are indeed the strongest four emperors group in the New World. The captains of the 43 pirate groups under his command are all very powerful and can easily fight against marine generals. Among them, Little Oz, the captain of the Oz pirates, is particularly conspicuous. Little Oz. Descendants of the devil Oz. It has a body that is taller than the giants, nearly 40 meters tall. His huge body gave him terrifying strength and amazing defense. Marine's attack fell on him like a tickle. And his attack can easily overturn a warship and knock it down in one blow. Even the giant Vice Admiral couldn't resist a few rounds in his hands. Ace. Wait for me. I'll rescue you soon. Little Oz let out a thunderous roar and charged towards the execution platform. Under his leadership, the Whitebeard pirates are unstoppable and are about to land in the square. But, guarding here, it is the 7 warlords of the sea, known as the 3 major forces together with the New World 4 emperors and marine headquarters. All of them are powerful men who dominate the field. Seeing the enemy coming, they had to take action. 7 warlords of the sea, Tyrant, Bear, silently took off his gloves. As his hands shook, the surrounding air was compressed to a point and then released towards the incoming Little Oz. Boom. A huge explosion enveloped dozens of meters in radius. Countless pirates screamed and were thrown away. However, Little Oz is worthy of being a descendant of the devil and has more strength than the average vice admiral. He withstood the bear's impact forcefully. But it was obvious that he was not feeling well either. He was covered in blood and temporarily lost consciousness. Oz. On the execution platform, looking at his severely wounded partner, Ace cried out in grief. His shout woke up Little Oz. Advertisement. He raised his head and looked in the direction of Ace, with a gentle smile on his ugly face. Ace. I will definitely rescue you. Roar. Little Oz, roaring, moved forward again. This time, it was even more terrifying than before. Wherever you go, there is no enemy. Just as Little Oz was about to step into the square, another Shichibukai took action. Foo 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 foo. As expected of the Whitebeard pirates, they even have the extremely rare demon tribe. But the one who spoke was Heavenly Yaksha, Doflamingo. I saw him jump, like a flamingo, flying tens of meters into the air, crossing Little Oz. The man was in the air and said slyly, what a pity, the species will become extinct today. Foo 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 foo. As soon as he finished speaking, he fell to the ground. Little Oz is angry and ready to attack. Suddenly, he felt his body lose balance and fell to the ground. Looking again, one of his legs had been completely severed by an invisible thread. Even so, Little Oz also struggled and crawled towards Ace. Captain Oz. The pirates let out shocking screams and prepared to go to the rescue. However, another Shichibukai took action. Doflamingo, you bastard, you cut off one of his legs. I want this guy's body. Go. Shadow Mage Shadow Gun. 7 Warlords of the Sea, Shadow Fruit ability user Gecko Moria activates the fruit ability. His shadow turned into countless bats and flew forward. When they got close, they gathered into shadow arrows and stabbed hard at Little Oz's neck. PFF'd. The arrow penetrated instantly. Blood flew into the air and splashed in all directions. As a large amount of blood flowed out, Little Oz suddenly became dizzy. But he still stretched out his arm and reached for Ace on the execution platform. Ace is getting blurry. The arms are getting weaker and weaker. After all, the distance was still less than 1 meter. Little Oz fell to the ground helplessly. Whitebeard's big fleet. Captain of the Oz pirates. Descendants of demons. Little Oz. Die. Oz. On the execution platform, Ace was devastated. On the Moby Dick, Whitebeard, who was supervising the battle, had sad eyes. To him, everyone in the Whitebeard pirates is family, no one close to them. Now, a son died trying to save his brother. His death must have value. Sons. Follow the gap opened by Oz and Rush. You must save Ace. Save your brother. Whitebeard roared. Suddenly, a giant vice admiral came over from nowhere. Taking advantage of his distraction, he raised his giant axe and struck him hard. There is a flaw. A vice admiral, a giant, another sneak attack. Advertisement. With this blow, even a warship can be split into 2. Ah, what a great opportunity. Vice Admiral, come on. Come on. Kill Whitebeard. The giant vice admiral looked at Whitebeard so close, feeling happy in his heart. He seemed to see a shining golden military medal. I've won the power of killing generals. Roar. The giant vice admiral tried his best to suck the milk. The power of the giant axe is even more powerful. Whitebeard glanced at him from the corner of his eye, his expression unchanged. With just a slight wave of his arm, the fruit's ability was activated, not only blocking the giant vice admiral's all-out blow, but also completely shattering the giant axe. Then, in the giant vice admiral's shocked eyes, he stretched out his hand and pressed his head to the deck. On the palm of the hand, the fruit ability is activated again. Shao Ka, giant vice admiral, death. In the distance, the Shichibukai camp. 7 warlords of the sea, the world's greatest swordsman, Eagle Eye, Mihawk, looked at this scene, his sharp eyes shining with endless fighting spirit. Then he stepped forward and walked forward. Foo 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 foo. A man like you is going to take action. Doflamingo's eyes were filled with excitement. Oh, is this man going to take action too? 7 warlords of the sea, Empress, Hancock, looked at it with slight interest. After taking action once, the bear, who had never moved again, looked at him. On the execution platform, Marshal Sengoku and Marine hero Garp also cast their gazes. It's not just them. The entire battlefield, both the Marine side and the pirate side, stopped fighting and stared at the figure walking towards Whitebeard. After all, he is the world's greatest swordsman. Mihawk's every move attracts everyone's attention. The world's best swordsman vs the strongest man in the world. Mihawk doesn't care about the attention of everyone. The reason why he came here was because of the man in front of him. He wanted to test the distance between himself and the strongest person in the world to see if it was as far away as the man with the broken arm said. Standing on the harbor guardrail, under everyone's gaze, Hawkeye suddenly swung his sword. Yi, one of the 12 skills of the supreme sharp sword and the world's strongest black sword, is out of its sheath. An extremely terrifying turquoise slash, emitting a sharp scream like a howling ghost, with the momentum to cut through everything, cut through the sea, cut through the void, and moved forward inexorably towards Whitebeard. Everyone in the huge battlefield was attracted by this sword. The noisy battle suddenly disappeared at this moment. In people's eyes, they can only see this stunning sword, and they can only hear the roar caused by the slash. Phew. It seems like a long time, but it is actually an instant. The moment Hawkeye swung his sword, the slash had already appeared on the bow of the Moby Dick. Whitebeard, just a few meters away. Whitebeard remained motionless, and even had a smile on his lips. Suddenly, changes occurred suddenly. A tall figure instantly appeared in front of Whitebeard. Advertisement. Facing the slash, he hit hard. Boom. CCC. The body collided violently with the slash. The tall figure gritted his teeth and refused to take a step back even if the ground cracked. Roar. The tall figure roared angrily, using both arms to throw the slash into the air. Then, he glared ahead. The tall body shines brightly. I want to touch daddy. Ask me first. The world's #1 swordsman's slash was blocked. The blocker, Whitebeard Pirates, Captain of Division 3, Paramesha Diamond Fruit User, Diamond, Josie. Good job, Joes. Who? Well done, Captain Joes. The pirates cheered loudly, their morale was boosted, and they charged again. Marine and pirates were strangled together again. At the same time, over the battlefield. Above the thick clouds, a submarine was flying. The position is correct. Our current position should be directly above the battlefield. Luo breathed a sigh of relief after reaching the position safely. Yoshi. Now that we're here, get ready for a big fight. Luffy geared up and waited patiently. The Straw Hat Boss. Wait. The enemy doesn't know our existence now. We'd better wait for the opportunity to land directly on Ace's execution platform and rescue Ace. Ah. How long will it take to wait? Suddenly, everyone felt a sharp breath coming. Everyone felt as if a sharp knife was pointed between their eyebrows. Goosebumps appeared all over their bodies and their souls trembled. Everyone turned their heads stiffly and looked down. I saw the thick clouds suddenly breaking apart. A green spiral light and shadow flew upwards. Wherever it went, circles of air waves rolled up and roars erupted. FK. What is this? Hiss. It's the swordsman's flying slash. So strong. So fast. It's over. This slash is coming straight at us, there's no way to dodge it. Everyone was completely stunned. Even those who were as strong as Crocodile, Jinbei, and Ivankov have stiff bodies. A slash of this level could only come from that man. That, Eagle Eye, Mihawk, known as the world's best swordsman. Luo. Let me borrow the knife. Suddenly, Yuri's voice appeared. As soon as Luo came back to his senses, he found that Yuri had disappeared. Also disappearing was the sword in his hand. When Yuri's figure was discovered again, he was already in the sky, before the attack. His long black hair was blowing in the wind, and his white robes were making a hunting sound. I saw the knife in his right hand and the knife in his left hand. Where the palm passed, the blade of the knife was dark. Then, he looked down and slashed, speaking calmly. Today, I use the demon sword to cry like a ghost. Welcome the world's greatest swordsman to strike. Chapter 24. Yo. Brothers, long time no see. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. With the sword in hand, Yuri recalls the past. Rock's pirate is full of talent. Above, there is the world's top swordsman, Golden Lion, Shiki. When he was very young, Yuri had the idea of learning swordsmanship. He approached Shiki and asked him to teach him how to learn swordsmanship. Shiki asked him, "Why do you want to learn swordsmanship?" Yuri replied, "Handsome. And, I want to win the title of the best swordsman in the world." Yes. In the beginning, he also has his own goals. With the sword in hand, he is the best swordsman in the world. When the fist is thrown out, it is the best iron fist in the world. When Hawkeye is released, he will be the most domineering person in the world. Devil Fruit also want to be the strongest devil fruit in the world. He wants to be the real number one in the world. No matter what weapon or condition. When Shiki learned that he wanted to be the world's greatest swordsman, he smiled. "Do you know what a swordsman is?" Yuri replied, "The one who wields sword energy is a swordsman." Shiki was satisfied and continued to ask, "Then, what is a great swordsman?" Yuri answered again, "The one who cuts everything with his sword energy without stopping is a great swordsman." Shiki was stunned for a moment, then looked up to the sky and laughed. "Ha ha ha. It's so good that nothing can stop, and it can kill everything. Yuri, today, I will teach you a trick. Watch it." After saying that, Shiki drew his sword. A huge sword energy was swung out, splitting the sea into two instantly, until the sea and the sky met. This move is called /wave. Whoosh. Hiss. Hawkeye's sword energy pierced the clouds, carrying a sonic boom and hitting the sky. Yuri regained consciousness and swung his sword. /wave. A blood-red slash suddenly appeared. With the roar of ghosts and wolves, it flew downwards. The two slashes collided fiercely like two peerless swordsmen. Suddenly, the light and shadow were distorted and the atmosphere trembled. Shock waves spread out one after another. The violent wind pressure swept all around. The clouds in the sky were instantly dispersed. The long-lost sunshine spreads across the world again. Advertisement. Hiss. That's amazing. Yuri actually withstood the attack of the world's greatest swordsman. Luffy was extremely surprised. He had seen how powerful Hawkeye was. "When I went to sea, Zoro couldn't even withstand one of Hawkeye's moves. Ho ho, Yuri boy, you really want to get you to join our human monster kingdom more and more." Ivankov's eyes were filled with stars. "Mr. Yuri is very strong. That's great." Jinbei was very happy. The stronger his teammates are, the greater the hope of rescuing Ace. Huh, is this guy's swordsmanship so strong? Can he fight against that man? Who is he? Crocodile was shocked beyond words. As a Shichibukai, he is very aware of Hawkeye's strength. Others are afraid of being wanted by Marine, so they are not allowed to join the 7 warlords of the sea and seek asylum. Hawkeye is one man and one sword, and his reputation for killing has made Marine invite him over and over again. And now, a pirate who has never been seen or heard of is actually on par with the world's greatest swordsman. Rock's pirate, what the hell is that? Hey, what a big event. Luo's eyes widened, surprised and delighted. Surprised that Yuri is so strong, able to wield sword energy that sweeps away thousands of miles of smoke. Fortunately, his ghost cry was earned. This may be the strongest sword move Gui Lai has ever wielded in his life. This is the realm that Taro may reach in this lifetime. How happy a sword would be if it could wield this move. As his master, Luo will only be happier. Scare. It's here. Brother Yuri's super slash. Buggy's eyes were filled with tears of excitement. He remembered this blow for 36 years. Back then, Yuri used this move to save them from a red-haired guy. Yes, it's them. Besides him, there is a red-haired baby. The two of them were placed in 2 devil fruit treasure chests by Yuri. Ooh. Saved. Mr. 3, holding Mr. 1 who was speechless, burst into tears. He shouldn't have come. It's too dangerous here. No. Single quote. When you get to the battlefield, you must hide. Single quote. Better find Marine's clothes to change into. Hide in the back towns. Single quote. Hey. Mr. 3, I have already thought about my future arrangements. At this time, Because of the collision of the two slashes, the clouds were completely scattered. He quickly looked down, looking for a hiding place. Advertisement. Below, Marineford. After Diamond, Josie threw Hawkeye's slash into the sky. The pirates and marines continued their battle. Suddenly, the sky suddenly became gloomy. Then, a harsh explosion resounded throughout the heavenly palace. Everyone looked up quickly. I saw green and blood red, two rays of light intertwined. Powerful impacts were released one after another. With each impact, the surrounding clouds disappeared. A short moment. There are no clouds in the sky and the sun is shining. Then, strong wind pressure appeared, and the weak ones were immediately pressed to the ground. Hey, what happened? Look, there's a ship in the sky. Hiss, that Hawkeye's slash was defeated head on by the people on the ship. No, that was a slash from the world's strongest swordsman. Even the captain of Whitebeard's 3rd Division could only reverse the direction of the slash. The battlefield came to a standstill again due to Yuri's blow. What a strong sword energy. Hawkeye put the knife in his back and planned to go home, but stopped again. Is there a new entrant? This war that changes the world structure is getting more and more interesting. Foo. Doflamingo. Maniacal laughter. Are there people again? It doesn't matter. I must listen to my mother-in-law and not have any contact with men. Empress. Hancock's beautiful face was still as cold as ice. Have you defeated Hawkeye's slash head on? Whitebeard's sighed. The captain of the 3rd Division, Diamond, Josie, had a serious expression. As someone who received Hawkeye's slash head on, he was very aware of the horror of this slash. He tried his best, but could only slightly reverse the direction of the attack. It is completely impossible to eliminate him head on with his strength. Unless Dad takes action. Dad, who is that in the sky? Is it our ally? Marco, the captain of the first team, flew back to Whitebeard and asked. They say that when people get older, they like to reminisce about the past. Advertisement. Whitebeard looked at this sword and was in a trance on the battlefield. Because he felt a familiar aura on this sword. La. It seems like a great person has arrived. Marco fell into thinking after listening to his father's words. Marine's side also reacted quite a bit because of this sudden accident. Hello. Who is that in heaven? Has the world government sent any support? Go. Contact Commander Kong immediately and ask about the situation. Unknown changes. I don't know if it's an enemy or a friend. This disrupts Sengoku's deployment. At this time, Garp jumped onto the execution platform and said to Sengoku with a serious expression, "Don't bother. Sengoku, can't you feel this familiar scent?" Hearing this, Sengoku thought for a moment and suddenly realized, it turns out to be that guy. Hateful. They are all antiques from the last era, why are they still here? It's no longer their time. Below, 3 admirals are confused. That era was still too far away for them. But that doesn't stop them from being cautious. No one in that era was easy to mess with. They are all extremely troublesome and ruthless characters. The current battle situation is complicated. If Whitebeard comes back with a super powerful force, everything will be hard to predict. On the battlefield, everyone raised their heads and looked at the sky. But the spacecraft was too high and they couldn't see clearly. But this is not difficult for experts. Marine Marshal Sengoku, Marine Hero Garp, Naval Headquarters 3rd Generation General, Eagle Eye, Mahawk, Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, these powerful men who have reached the level of general, have started to see and hear. Dozens of pairs of red eyes looked towards the sky. They saw it. Thousands of miles above the sky, a submarine floats. Next to the submarine, a thin young figure was sheathing his sword. It seemed like I sensed something. The figure looked down and smiled. Yo, a few old guys. Long time no see. Chapter 25 Prologue. The Coming of the Man from Heaven. Advertisement. In Impel Down, Yuri fantasized more than once about how he would greet these old friends after he came out. Before arriving at the Marine headquarters, he was about to meet Whitebeard and several old rivals, but he still hadn't thought about his opening remarks. Until now. Until the moment he was discovered by John Wentz. The words fell out of his mouth. Yo, a few old guys. Long time no see. This is the opening statement. Of course, Whitebeard and the others couldn't hear this. Observation Hawkeye does not have the ability to remotely monitor. Even, it does not have the ability to see the appearance of characters remotely. Therefore, in the observation Hawkeye perception of Whitebeard, Sengoku, Garp and others, they only saw dozens of figures in the sky, emitting various colors and auras. There is a figure among them, which is extremely eye-catching. All over his body, he exuded an explosive blood-red aura all the time. The aura is so strong that it shakes people's hearts. Some of them were even forced out of the state of seeing, hearing, coloring, and perceiving in an instant. Gu la 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 la. This Hawkeye. He's no weaker than that red-haired brat. On the Moby Dick, Whitebeard has a smile in his eyes. Dad, can you tell who is coming? Is it an enemy or a friend? The captain of the first team, Phoenix, Marco, once again asked the doubts in his heart. After the short battle just now, he had already discovered the horror of Marine's strength. The three admirals of headquarters are actually a bit exaggerated. Especially Kizaru Admiral, who was facing him just now. He had already tried his best, but the opponent was still laughing and joking, lazy and casual. It's so scary to say something in your mouth, and it's so scary when you start a fight. Although on their side, their father, as the coach, has not taken action yet. But on Marine's side, Marshal Sengoku and Marine hero Garp also didn't take action. The situation is very unfavorable to them. They need help. That person in the sky can defeat Hawkeye's slashing attack head-on. He is definitely a super strong person. Advertisement. If it were reinforcements, the chance of rescuing Ace would be much greater. Gu la 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 la. Marco. He is a friend. He is also an enemy. A trace of recollection appeared in Whitebeard's eyes. That familiar person on that ship. He is a witness of the times. At the same time, he is also a forgotten person of the times. As for whether it is an enemy or a friend, a wry smile appeared on Whitebeard's lips. Most likely, they are enemies. After all, that person has the ambition of a king. Execution platform. Sengoku and Garp were also ejected. The two looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. Are you sure it's him? Sengoku looked ugly. Hawkeye is too strong and blocks our perception of seeing, hearing and color, so we are not sure. Garp shook his head. But this move. Who else can do it besides him? It seems that something unexpected happened in this war. Based on his relationship with Whitebeard and the fact that he has been imprisoned for so many years, he is most likely the right person for us. Sengoku suddenly felt something bad. Phew. Whitebeard, add another one. Garp, it looks like you have to take action this time. Sengoku knew the pain in Garp's heart. Originally, it would have been extremely cruel for him to watch his grandson being executed. Now, he wants him to take action himself to prevent others from rescuing his grandson. This is really not what humans do. But, the cloak on my body is too heavy. It's so heavy that everyone has to make choices they don't want to make. Foo 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 foo. Hey, Mahawk, it looks like your slash was caught by someone. Doflamingo, taking the step of not recognizing his relatives, spoke jokingly. He is a strong man. Advertisement. It's well worth the trip. A smile appeared on Mahawk's lips. As the world's greatest swordsman, he likes to fight against strong men. This time, he wanted to test the gap between him and the strongest in the world, but it was destroyed by others. If it can be destroyed once, it can be destroyed countless times. This also means that Whitebeard's opponent in this battle is not him. He was very disappointed. But now, another strong man appears. What's more exciting than meeting a powerful swordsman? Same as Shichibukai. The taciturn bear rarely showed any emotion on his face. He also sensed familiarity. That friend whom I met in the Valley of Gods. As for Empress Hancock, she still had a cold face and didn't care about anything. Because Grandma Ni said that if she dared to contact other men, she would commit suicide. Marine, pirates, Shichibukai. Because of the blow from the sky, they all stopped. They are all waiting for the arrival of someone who may change this battle. Sky. Submarine. Cabin. Hey, Yuri. Who were you talking to just now? What old guys? Long time no see. Luffy asked curiously, picking his nostrils. Oh. There are some old friends down here that I haven't seen for a long time. I thought of an opening line. Otherwise, it will be embarrassing if we have nothing to say later. Yuri explained that he was satisfied with this opening statement. Sukar. It's so interesting. I want to think about it too. Luffy really took it seriously and ran away to think. Advertisement. There is indeed an old friend down there. I'm really nostalgic. Ivankov thought of that burly figure. That comrade who was willing to lose himself for Ginny. Are we finally going to meet that man? Lousy can't forget it day and night. Crocodile's expression was gloomy. The reason he agreed to Luffy's rescue of Ace this time was because that man was his main target. Scare. Is it my turn to appear soon? Ha. Kids, let's witness Captain Buggy's great moment. Buggy suddenly wasn't afraid anymore. Because his eldest brother Yuri is too strong. Hello, every one of you. Really? We are going to the battlefield, be serious. Luo looked at this group of living treasures and rubbed his head helplessly. Have you all thought about your opening remarks? Yuri's eyes sparkled and he asked everyone for the last time. Everyone roared excitedly. Ho, I've thought about it. In that case, let's go. Let's step into this pinnacle battle that the world is paying attention to. The orange submarine, under the spotlight, slowly fell downwards. The huge battlefield was quiet. Even the wind stopped making noise, for fear of disturbing this historic moment. Time is ticking by. No matter how far the journey is, it will eventually have an end. Finally, the submarine landed. Stop safely at the edge of the square where you can step into the sea. Phew. With a puff of air. The submarine's hatch opened slowly. Chapter 26 next. Let me reveal his identity. Advertisement. Hey. Ha. Before the figure appeared, weird laughter could already be heard. Hear this laugh. Think again of that knife that swept across the clear sky. Many people experience a sudden increase in pressure and their throats bulge unconsciously. Hiss. What a terrifying laughter. What a strong oppression. It's like a devil from hell. Only this kind of laughter is worthy of that bloody knife. Sure enough, the laughter of a strong man is so characteristic. Amid everyone's horrified whispers, the first man from heaven appeared. Skeleton clown hat. Long blue hair. Big red nose. Lips as red as blood. None other than Buggy the clown. He walked out of the cabin door with extremely arrogant steps and began to say the opening remarks he had been thinking about for a long time. Hey. Suddenly, he realized something was wrong. There are too many people on the battlefield. Under the gaze of countless eyes, his legs trembled with fright, and even his laughter trembled, becoming more and more weird. And the trembling became more and more intense. Paji. By accident, his head fell off. Wow. This is Captain Buggy's opening remarks. Use your trembling and weird laughter to intimidate everyone. You are worthy of being Captain Buggy. Ho! Long live Captain Buggy. Buggy's idiot brothers cheered wildly. Marine pirate. Hi. It's really a devil. Shichibukai. Luffy. Awesome. Luo. Yuri. Haha. Those who didn't understand screamed and became more and more frightened. The knowledgeable person was speechless. La. Isn't this the crying red nose on Roger's boat? I didn't expect you to be alive. Whitebeard was also happy and took the initiative to say hello to Buggy. Hiss. He is actually a crew member of Roger, the Pirate King. Advertisement. Whitebeard actually took the initiative to say hello to him. It seems that he was the one who swung the knife. You really can't tell a person's face. Everyone was shocked. Sengoku felt that this person looked familiar. Go and check, who is this person? In just a few seconds, the news came. Report to Marshal Sengoku, this man is the captain of the Buggy Pirates, Joker, Buggy, with a bounty of 15 million Baileys. Sengoku. Then he held a loudspeaker and said, don't panic, everyone. He is Buggy, the captain of the clown pirates. That knife was not swung by him. Sengoku spoke, attracting everyone's attention. Buggy, who had been being watched, suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. People are not afraid anymore. My legs don't shake anymore. Got a new lease of life. He was just thinking about his opening remarks when suddenly, a burst of sand flashed beside him and rushed straight towards Whitebeard on the Moby Dick. In the blink of an eye, Huang Sha has arrived behind Whitebeard. A figure appeared together, with a golden hook in its hand, and stabbed Whitebeard's neck hard. Thief, ha 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 ha. Whitebeard, come and die. The incident happened so quickly that no one on the battlefield could react at all. This is former 7 warlords of the sea, sand crocodile, crocodile. A person's name is like a tree's shadow. Unlike Buggy, Crocodile was recognized by everyone as soon as he showed up. Dad, be careful. What a shame, you dare to sneak attack. The battle was paused, waiting for the submarine to land. The captains of the Whitebeard regiment were at the front of the battlefield because they had to prepare for Marine's surprise attack. At this time, there was simply no time. Who is Whitebeard? The strongest man in the world. Even though he is weak at the moment, he still has the strength of an imperial general. Facing the coming attack, he remained unmoved. Because he has seen it. Another figure arrives. Phew. Submarine hatch. Another figure stepped out quickly. Then, a boy with red skin, steam filling his body, and a straw hat appeared. One of his feet stepped hard on Crocodile's golden hook gourd. He spoke with a serious expression. Hello. Advertisement. Crocodile. This man is Ace's father. I won't allow you to act like this before Ace is rescued. In an instant, 2 more people appeared in the cabin. One person is the world-famous great pirate and former 7 warlords of the sea, Sir Crocodile. One person is. Everyone's eyes widened and they quickly recognized the person's identity. In the Sabayati archipelago, beat up the celestial dragon's pirate Supernova. With a bounty of 300 million belly on his head, the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, Straw Hat, Monkey D. Luffy. Seeing that it was Luffy, most people on the battlefield were stunned. Smoker. Really? Is this guy here too? Kirby. Luffy-san is here too. Gecko Moria. Gah, it's this kid. It's my zombie. Hawkeye. Oh, is that kid with red hair optimistic about? Interesting. Aokiji. Ah, troublesome guy. Kizaru. It's scary, he's here too. Akainu. Huh, Garp. Huh, Luffy. Sengoku. Trouble. The whole family is full of random guys. On the execution platform, Ace stared at the figure who rescued his father, Luffy. Hearing his brother's voice, Luffy looked up quickly. When he saw Ace, he showed an extremely happy smile. Ace. I'm here to save you. These words made Ace's expression change drastically. This is the world's top battlefield. With Luffy's strength, let alone saving him, he can't even save himself. Not long ago, he witnessed his best friend Oz, who was far more powerful than his younger brother, die in front of him. He didn't want to experience the pain of losing his companion anymore. Hey, Luffy, my being arrested has nothing to do with you. I don't need you to save me. Leave me quickly. Luffy was unmoved. After taking a deep breath, he shouted forward. Who said it has nothing to do with me? Ace. You are my brother. Brother. Ah. Quote. The sound echoed above the sea, making everyone quiet again. Wait. What did he just say? He said Ace is his brother. Hiss. Is he also the son of Pirate King Gol D. Roger? No. His last name is Monkey, not Gore. Then Ace's surname is Portkas, and he's still Roger's son. That's right. Hiss. The Pirate King actually has 2 sons, and one is the Straw Hat, who dares to beat up the celestial dragons. Advertisement. Sure enough, they are the most evil bloodline in the world. How dare they beat up the celestial dragons? It seems that he was the one who swung that sword. As expected of the bloodline of the Pirate King, his talent is really strong. No, he didn't bring a knife either. On the battlefield, everyone looked at Luffy. Even Whitebeard is interested in this kid who suddenly appears and calls himself Brother Ace. Gu la la la. Hey kid, who are you? Luffy was about to answer. Suddenly I remembered Yuri's opening remarks when he was in heaven. His eyes lit up and he grinned at Whitebeard. I am Luffy. I am the man who wants to become the Pirate King. Just a little bit. As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people once again caused a burst of exclamation. Hey, this brat actually said in front of 4 emperors Whitebeard that he wanted to become the Pirate King. As expected of Roger's son. Sure enough, they all have the same dream. Such a brat, we must not let him leave here alive. Kill him. Completely eliminate the bloodline of the Pirate King. The Marines looked at Luffy with murderous intent in their eyes. This world is so crazy precisely because of Roger the Pirate King's words. Those pirates, for the sake of an illusory great secret treasure, burned, killed, looted, and committed all kinds of evil. It's the common people who are suffering. For the sake of justice, the bloodline of the Pirate King must be completely ended. Sengoku frowned when he saw this. If Luffy is really identified as the bloodline of the Pirate King, then he must be killed today. Do you want to kill Garp's godson and then his biological grandson in front of Garp? Then Garp shouldn't jump on the spot. No. Luffy must be saved. Thinking like this, Sengoku spoke again. Everyone. Luffy is not Roger's son. He didn't swing the knife just now. Don't pay too much attention to him. Huh. It turns out he's not the blood of the Pirate King. I'm shocked. In this case, let's treat him as an ordinary pirate and focus on destroying Ace and the Whitebeard pirates. All Marines breathed a sigh of relief. Luffy heard this voice and yelled again with an unhappy face. Hey! Grandpa Sengoku, why did you kill Ace? Huh? Grandpa Sengoku. Hey! Is he the grandson of Marshal Sengoku? Holy shit. The Marshal's grandson and the Pirate King's grandson are brothers, and they even came to receive the punishment in person. How can they fight? If you say that, do I have to take action later? If I hurt the grandson of the Marshal, will I be put in the shoes? All the Marines started to get confused. This sentence made Sengoku speechless. He had no choice but to reveal Luffy's true identity. Everyone. Luffy is not my biological grandson. Next, let me announce his identity. Chapter 27 come out. The legendary pirate. The remnants of the old era. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Monkey D. Luffy. Captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. His father is the leader of the Revolutionary Army. Monkey D. Drag. Grandpa is. Having said this, Sengoku glanced at the sad Garp and continued. Grandpa is. Marine hero. Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral. Monkey D. Garp. The whole place was quiet again. Immediately, the shouts were loud. He is actually the son of Delog, the most vicious criminal in the world and the leader of the Revolutionary Army. The leader of the Revolutionary Army is actually the son of Vice Admiral Garp. It should be true, all 3 of them have the last name Monkey. So, the Marine hero's son is a revolutionary soldier. His grandson is a pirate. Gecko Moria. Gah. He is actually Garp's grandson. Doflamingo. It's really unexpected information. Fufufufu. Hawkeye. Oh, Garp's grandson, interesting. Whitebeard was quite surprised. Glalala, Garp's grandson wants to be the Pirate King. The bear's eyes flickered, but he still didn't speak. Hancock just glanced at him lightly, still as cold as ice. Whose son is has nothing to do with her, as long as it's not that person's. Listening to everyone's discussion, Garp seemed to have aged 10 years instantly. All his life, he wanted to train qualified sailors to save troubled times. Result. My son ran to become a revolutionary army to overthrow the world government. The grandson ran to be a pirate and wanted to be the Pirate King. Even his grandson was about to be executed in front of him, and he was powerless. Thinking of this, Garp slumped down next to Ace and murmured in a low voice. Ace, tell me, am I a failure in my life? Ace knew why Garp was upset. When they were young, they worked hard to train them and prepare them to be sailors. As a result, 1 or 2 of them became pirates. And also, be executed in front of him. Ace suddenly felt that he was very sorry for Garp. If I hadn't desperately wanted to go to sea and become a pirate, would the outcome have been different? Thinking of this, Ace burst into tears. Advertisement. Sorry. He wanted to call out the word, Grandpa, but he didn't dare. He was afraid that if he really shouted out, Grandpa Garp would do everything he could to save his grandson. Look, someone is coming out again. Suddenly, a call drew everyone's attention back. The Revolutionary Army Dorag, didn't he come? The son of a dragon is nothing more than a brat. No need to worry. What we have to worry about now is the super strong man who wielded that sword in the sky just now. Let's see which camp he is on. Everyone turned their heads and looked at the cabin door. At this time, a figure just walked out. Madara points to the white winter hat. Small black eye circles. Short chin beard. Tattoos on body tattoos. Be cold and silent. A bit scary. The most important thing is that he holds a long sword in his arms. The scabbard is complicated and engraved with cross patterns, making it look like an expensive famous sword. He was also the only one who appeared with a sword. It's him. It's him. It's him. He is the only one holding the sword. That sword in the sky must have been swung by him. This posture looks a bit like it. Let me try his strength. A giant, vice admiral, couldn't bear it anymore. He grabbed the wreckage of the warship next to him and threw it at the submarine. Quote. Really? Those in front didn't see you attacking when they came out. Room. Luo was speechless, but he did not dare to be careless and decisively used the fruit's ability. A translucent light shield spread around him, covering dozens of meters around him. Slaughterhouse. Advertisement. Seeing the warship enter the space, Luo pulled out his long knife and waved it lightly. In an instant, the warship split into two parts. Hiss. What a strong knife. Sure enough, it's him. This is a sword move that can compete head-on with the world's best swordsman's slashes. Law curled his lips, looked around Marine, and spoke helplessly. Hello. Although my bounty is not as high as that of the Straw Hat Master. But it's not like you can't recognize me, right? After his reminder, everyone remembered. It's you. One of the supernovas. Bounty of 200 million berry. Captain of the Heart Pirates, Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law. Is there another supernova? What are they doing here? Form a team to rescue Ace. Sabayati Archipelago. Among the people watching the live broadcast in front of the big screen, there were several people with strange expressions. Bonnie, the captain of the Bonnie Pirates and the Big Eater, was struggling with a plate of pizza and said, huh. How did these two idiots get together? Basil Hawkins, the captain of the Hawkins Pirates, looked at the tarot cards on the table and raised his index finger to the sky. Are you going to save Ace? I have counted hundreds of games, and there is only one way to win. Captain of the Kid Pirates, Eustace Kid slammed the table angrily. Damn it. These two guys are actually thinking of using this method to increase the bounty. No, I also have to find a way to increase the bounty quickly. Yes. Wait until this is over. Enter the new world immediately and challenge the four emperors. Marineford. As time went by, more and more people came out of the submarine. There is Mr. 1, Crocodile's subordinate. Revolutionary Army cadres Lightning. And some unnamed minions. Two of them also caused everyone to exclaim. Revolutionary Army Captain Ivankov. And 7 warlords of the sea, Jinbei, the hero of the sea. Advertisement. However, everyone still didn't notice the super strong man in the sky who wielded that knife. Sengoku looked at the sky and saw that there was not much time left before the execution, and he did not want to wait any longer. Pick up the live phone bug again. Hello. The one in the submarine. We already know your identity. There's no use continuing to hide. Although we were once enemies, as long as you join us against Whitebeard. Everything in your past can be forgiven. After all, although you were partners in the past, you are also enemies now. Come out. At this time, Whitebeard also spoke up. Gu la 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 la. No matter what brings you here. As partners who have fought side by side, shouldn't we meet each other? After all, we are all remnants of the old era. Come out. Sengoku and Whitebeard. They all want to win over this person and join their side. As for who this person is, it is not difficult to draw a conclusion based on the existing information. Super Swordsman. Great Swordsman sword move / wave. Can control a submarine to fly. And such hockey and strength. He is also a legendary figure from the old times. With Whitebeard, Even though the enemy is also an ally, he also fought with Sengoku and Garp. Who else could it be besides that one? Whitebeard and Sengoku spoke together and called out the man's name. Come out. The legendary great pirate. The remnant of the old era. Golden Lion. Shiki. Chapter 28 Remembered. It's Rocks D. Yuri. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Golden Lion Shiki. Lion Shiki. Z Shiki. Shiki. Base. Quote exclamation mark quote. The two top experts in the world spoke out together. The sound was so loud that the entire sea was the echo of G. Everyone, hearing this name, held their breath and concentrated. Golden Lion. Shiki. His name and deeds are really too loud. He is a person with lion fruit ability who can make the islands float in the sky. He is the great pirate who stands side by side with Roger and Whitebeard in the New World. He was the admiral of the flying pirates who almost killed Roger under Ed Wall. He is a super strong man who heard about Roger's death, bravely broke into Naval Headquarters Marineford alone, fought with Sengoku and Garp for 3 days and 3 nights, and destroyed half of the island. He is the only prisoner to successfully escape from Impel Down Prison in the 800 years since its establishment. He is a legend. Hiss. It's actually him. No wonder. With swordsmanship that rivals the world's best swordsman, he is the Golden Lion. No wonder Whitebeard and Roger take him so seriously, he is such a legendary figure. Marco suddenly realized. It's him. Doflamingo became more and more interested. Fufufufu, Whitebeard and Golden Lion, this battle is really interesting. A smile appeared on Mihawk's lips. He was a legendary swordsman of that era. He was an opponent worth challenging. Kizaru looked slightly surprised. Oh, how scary, are such people here? Kuzan's expression was solemn. Allah, what a troublesome guy has come. Akainu's eyes narrowed slightly, and his murderous intention appeared. First it's Whitebeard. Then it's Golden Lion. These old things are real. Your time has passed. Garp. Golden Lion. Sengoku. This is a bit tricky. Whitebeard laughed. Gu. Look Shiki, our era has not passed yet. There are 4 emperors in New World, namely. Advertisement. Whitebeard. Edward Newgate. Beasts. Kaido. Big Mom. Charlotte Linlin. Redhead. Shanks. But Whitebeard alone is a figure from a previous era. Many people joked that Whitebeard became the number 1 among the 4 emperors just because of his age. He is the remnant of the era. Like Roger Golden Lion, he should have been eliminated by the times. Whitebeard doesn't like these remarks. Now, as soon as the name Golden Lion Shiki appeared, it caused a shock in the world. So what about the old times? Mention the name of Lousy, and the whole world will tremble. Gu la la la. Gu la 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 la. Whitebeard looked up to the sky and laughed wildly. It's like I'm back when I was young again. At that time, they felt that they could overturn the world at will. Are you not feeling well now? Old. Time to be eliminated. No. Lousy. But Whitebeard. Gu la 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 la. Shiki. What are you waiting for? Come on. Let's overturn this place together. Let's overturn the whole world. Gu la 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 la. Whitebeard's laughter echoed over Marineford for a long time. Marines, be afraid. They have seen Whitebeard, the power that destroys heaven and earth. If he really joins forces with Golden Lion, then who can stop him at Marine headquarters? Fear, helplessness, fear. All kinds of emotions spread among the Marine soldiers. Suddenly, a clear childish voice appeared. Golden Lion Shiki. Advertisement. Isn't he dead? Everyone looked up and saw Luffy picking his nostrils and asking with a blank look on his face. This. Shichibukai. Marine. Pirates. Everyone is confused. Golden Lion Shiki, dead. How could such a powerful person like him die? Even if he is dead, how would you, Straw Hat Luffy, know? Hello. Straw Hat Luffy. You said Golden Lion Shiki is dead, what evidence do you have? The white group pirates were angry. Their father personally invited them to join forces. Seeing that we need many legendary pirate helpers on our side. As a result, some people say that this helper does not exist. Evidence. No. Luffy was a little stunned. He had no evidence. Anyway, we beat him to death. Because he bullied our navigator. Silence. There was a long silence. Hey, look at what he said about being smart. It should be true, right? Hiss. Did Golden Lion Shiki, such a big man, really fall? Big news. The legendary pirate Golden Lion has died. Whitebeard is the only one left in that era. Ha ha ha, as expected. The old things from the old era should be eliminated by the times. Ho, Whitebeard will die here too today. Marine's momentum skyrocketed again. Since Golden Lion can be defeated by Straw Hat, whose bounty is no more than 300 million belly, then what should be feared by Whitebeard, who is at the same level as him? Today, let the entire Whitebeard pirate group never come back. Marine, to kill the 4 emperors. Advertisement. Suddenly, everyone looked at the submarine. Now that Golden Lion Shiki has fallen, who is that in the submarine? Hello. Straw Hat Luffy. Since you also came out of the submarine, do you know who swung that knife just now? There's Marine, ask the question. Suddenly, everyone looked at Luffy again. Ah, that knife. Luffy blinked a few times, then grinned. Hee hee, it's Yuri. Yuri. Never heard of it. Since he can wield that sword, he must be a great person. Go check it out. Report. We didn't find the character Julie, we only found a place named Julie in Wanokuni. It doesn't exist. It shouldn't be. How could there be no record of such a powerful person in the world? The Marine Intelligence Department searched for a long time and found nothing, so they became more and more anxious. Hello. Straw Hat Luffy. Are you sure it's the big shot? His name is Yuri. Marine, be careful about asking questions. Ah. Luffy scratched his head. He was a little unsure and asked Luo, who was not far away. Hey, Luo, Julie's name is Julie, right? Luo rubbed his head, feeling extremely headache. He sighed. It's not Curry. It's Yuri. Luffy suddenly understood. Hip hop ha ha ha. I remember. It's Yuri. It's Rocks D Yuri. Hip hop ha ha ha. Chapter 29. Did you come back from hell for revenge? Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. It's called Rocks D Yuri. D. Yuri. Yuri. Lee. Ah. Quote exclamation mark quote. Marine headquarters is great everywhere, but love echoes. If the sound is slightly louder, it can be heard throughout the island. Yuri. Who hasn't heard of it? Rocks D Yuri. Quick, go check this character. Sir, we haven't found the existence of Yuri. We can't even find any information about the surname Rocks. Huh, it turns out he is a little person. When I heard the word D, I thought he was a big shot. Yes, after all, the D clan is known as the enemy of the celestial dragons. Shish. Keep your voice down. We are discussing celestial dragons here. Do you want to die? Sorry. All the Marines breathed a sigh of relief and even made a little joke. What role can a little known person play in this vast battlefield? Damn it. He's just a nobody. I thought he could help us rescue Ace, but it seems it's useless. Having such high hopes, it turned out to be just a little pirate. Dad is going to be disappointed. Oh no, a little guy actually appears at the end like the coach. I'm going to kill him soon. The pirate side also seemed to have been tricked, gritting his teeth. But they didn't notice. The expressions of those powerful men who held high positions and were famous changed drastically after hearing this name. 7 warlords of the sea, the world's most beautiful woman, the Emperor of Nine Snakes Island, Empress, Boa Hancock. After hearing this name, she could no longer remain calm. A pair of beautiful eyes suddenly widened. Advertisement. He put his hand on his chest and looked at the orange submarine with a look of disbelief. Rocks D Yuri. Is he the man that Granny Twisted said was my destiny? He is actually alive. 7 warlords of the sea, the Joker of the Dark World, King Dressrosa, Heavenly Yaksha, Don Quixote Doflamingo, suddenly froze. Don Quixote is a surname belonging to celestial dragons. As a celestial dragons, Doflamingo knows a lot of inside information. Rocks. The Rocks whose news was blocked by the world government. That Rocks that has been forgotten by time. Did they actually come back? This world is going to go berserk. Foo 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 foo. Phew ha 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 ha. 7 warlords of the sea, the former king of the kingdom of Sorbet, the tyrant, Bartholomew Bear, had an expression on his expressionless face for the first time. The Bible in my hand was clenched unconsciously. He remembered the massacre when he was a child. I also remembered that young man's stunning blow in that canyon. Rocks D. Yuri. Dorag, maybe your chance is coming. 7 warlords of the sea, the world's greatest swordsman, sea hunter, and Eagle Eye, Dracula Mahawk, suddenly raised his head. Under the black top hat, the sharp eyes like eagles are full of fighting spirit. Rocks. That one is more powerful than Roger the Pirate King, the one who deserves to be number 1 in the world, that sea overlord, Rocks who rules the entire sea. Haha. Just hearing this name makes my blood boil with excitement that I haven't seen in a long time. Today was really worth it. Admiral of Headquarters, Kizaru, Porosalino, after hearing this name, he stopped being lazy and his expression was serious. Advertisement. Are you from that family? Now, we are really in trouble. Admiral of Headquarters, Aokiji, Kuzan let out a cold breath. You guys from that era. You need to get serious. If you don't take it seriously, you will die. Admiral of Headquarters, Akainu, Sakazuki, lava suddenly flowing out of his face. The remnants of the times. The Valley of Gods has not completely exterminated you, so I will bury you today. Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, Marine Hero, Iron Fist, Garp, the corners of his eyes were beating wildly. That guy is still out. I told you a long time ago that the members of that family are as strong as monsters. Those idiot celestial dragons insist on doing some human experiments. Marshal Marine, the resourceful general, Sengoku looked gloomy. Signal Corps. Hurry. Contact Magellan in Impel Down and see what's going on over there. Contact the 5 elders again and tell them that man is out. It must be fast. Whitebeard Regiment, Captain of the 1st Division, Phoenix, Marco's eyes widened. Rocks. Yuri. Dad, is he the person you often say will surpass you? The new world's strongest 4 emperors, captain of the Whitebeard pirates, and the world's strongest man, Whitebeard, Edward Newgate was stunned when he heard this name. In front of my eyes, a distant scene could not help but appear. Come again. Newgate. Go on. Come again. Aren't you full, Newgate? Advertisement. Go on. Go on. Go on. On the beach, a boy less than 10 years old was fighting with a strong man with golden hair. A strong man named Edward Newgate. A boy named Rocks D. Yuri. 3 days and 3 nights later, the two of them lay on the beach and looked at the sunset in the distance. Whitebeard took a deep sip of wine to dispel the fatigue in his body, turned to ask the black-haired boy next to him, Yuri, why are you working so hard to become stronger? The young man also took a sip of wine, and his face instantly turned red. I want to become the strongest in the world. I want to save our. Saving what? Whitebeard turned his head, only to find that the boy had fallen asleep. He couldn't help but shake his head. Yuri, you really just poured the cup after you dipped it in it. Rocks D. Yuri. You will surpass me, surpass Shiki, surpass your father Rocks, surpass all of us, and become the strongest in the world. I always believe it. So, the name, Rocks D. Yuri. Even if time passes, he, Whitebeard, will never forget. But a trace of regret appeared in Whitebeard's eyes. It was us who abandoned you and your son. Battle in the Valley of Gods. Except Rocks and his son. Almost all the other cadres left smoothly. In a way, the Rocks were abandoned by their crew. So, you're not dead. So, you came back from hell for revenge. Whitebeard murmured under his breath. Chapter 30 Him. He is the devil who destroys the world. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Hey, Dad, what's wrong with you? The white team captains noticed that Dad was not in a good mood and came running over one after another. Whitebeard came to his senses. In my eyes, the scene changes. Under the setting sun, the figures of the strong man and the young man chatting freely over wine disappeared. What he saw was devastation and fireworks, and he was surrounded by concerned sons. Whitebeard shook his head slightly, dismissed the past, returned to the present, and smiled slightly. Gu Lala, sons, I'm fine. The captains were relieved. Dad, this rocks Yuri, who is he? This question also attracted the attention of the entire battlefield. Everyone wants to know, who is this person named Yuri? Is he a little unknown person? If so, why would a legend like Whitebeard suddenly lose his mind? Whitebeard looked at the orange submarine with a smile in his eyes. You guys are talking about Yuri. Suddenly, Whitebeard roared forward. He will surpass Kaido, surpass Linlin, surpass Shiki, surpass me, surpass all of us, become the strongest man in the world. Gu la 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 la. Rocks Yuri, did you hear that? Me, I've always thought so. The sunset that night was beautiful. It's Whitebeard and Yuri, the last gathering. What a pity, that night. Yuri was too drunk to hear this. After that, there was the Battle of the Valley of Gods. Later, Rocks and his son were declared dead by Marine. Rocks' pirate, fall apart. All this turned out to be a pity. Now, at Marine headquarters. In front of the whole sea. Advertisement. He Whitebeard, shouted out without regret. Huh, what does Whitebeard mean? Beyond Kaido. Beyond Linlin. Beyond Shiki. Not to mention that Shiki is dead, Kaido and Linlin are the 4 emperors of the New World. Hey, this Rocks doesn't seem to be a nobody. Oh my god. Does Whitebeard have such a high opinion of this Yuri? He actually said that he can surpass himself and become the strongest in the world. It's so scary. Who is this Yuri? Have not heard. It doesn't matter. Nobody. It doesn't matter. Can't find the information. It doesn't matter. The personal certification from the world's strongest person made Yuri completely engraved with the title of super strong person. From now on, Rocks Yuri. This name is firmly remembered by everyone. On the execution platform, Ace was extremely shocked. It has been 2 years since he joined the Whitebeard Pirates, and this is the first time he has heard his father praise a man so much. A man he had never heard of. Rocks Yuri. Who are you? Brew. Suddenly, in Sengoku's hand, the phone buzzed. Report to Marshal Sengoku. The phone number at Impel Down Prison is connected. Do you want me to pick it up for you? Take it, now. Bulu. Si ka kwang ka, brew. Hello. I am Domino, the deputy warden of Impel Down Prison. Who are you? I'm Sengoku. Ha. Hello Marshal Sengoku. What can I do for you? Where is your Director Magellan? Director Magellan. He is fighting the 7 warlords of the sea and the Blackbeard pirates. Blackbeard teach. What was he doing there? Advertisement. Sengoku was confused. But compared to Blackbeard, that person is more important at this moment. Help me check this person and see if he is still in jail. Identity code. XXXXXXXX. Domino was shocked. This was code of the highest order. Even though she is the deputy warden, she does not have the authority to see this person's information. After a quick operation, I quickly found the information. Report to Marshal Sengoku. Prisoner. Rocks Yuri, was rescued by Monkey D. Luffy, the Straw Hat Boy, 10 minutes ago, and has now escaped from prison. Snapped. Bah. Sengoku was so angry that he crushed the phone bug with a slap. At this moment, his expression looked as ugly as possible. He glared at the innocent-looking Garp beside him. Your good grandson. Then, he picked up the loudspeaker bug and looked at Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy. Rocks Yuri, were you the one who released it? Sengoku's sudden voice echoed across the battlefield, causing everyone to shift their gaze. They didn't understand why they suddenly asked such a question at this juncture. Luffy also looked confused. However, Sengoku treats him just like his own grandfather, and he will answer all questions. Ah, Grandpa Sengoku. Yes, I also released Crocodile, Jinbei, Ivankov, Lightning and others. I need them, help me save Ace. He. Only then did everyone realize that all the powerful men on the submarine were rescued by Luffy. Suddenly, they had a new understanding of this supernova. No one except Golden Lion Shiki has been able to rescue such an important prisoner from the Impel Down Prison. And the Golden Lion still fell in his hands. That's something that even Roger, the Pirate King, can't do. Suddenly there was a strong thought in everyone's mind. This little kid who loves to laugh. Isn't he also a future legend? Advertisement. He won't Can he really become the Pirate King? Sengoku doesn't care about this, his head is very messy at the moment. Others don't know who Rox D. Yuri is, but as an opponent, he knows it all too well. That is a devil that can destroy the world. Luffy. Do you know what a devil you rescued? Do you know that one of your unintentional actions can lead to the destruction of the world? Sengoku talks a lot. He doesn't care where the place is now. Because that man is really terrible. No. To be precise. That man ate the 9-color devil fruit that had never appeared in this world. Mixed black and white, plus 7 colors swirling around. Luffy thought of Yuri. She is thin and has long hair reaching her waist. She is frail and always smiles and talks. Could such a gentle person be the devil who will destroy the world? I remembered every moment along the way. Take action to trap Magellan, break the Whitebeard Sea Shock, predict the Aokiji Ice Age in advance, and block Hawkeye's slashing attack in the air. Will a guy who helps others like this become a devil who will destroy the world? Grandpa Sengoku. What did you say? Yuri is not like that. Luffy complained for Yuri. Shut up. What do you know? Sengoku was angry. He rarely lost his temper towards Luffy. Then he looked around. Do you know what this devil has done? When he was only 10 years old, he completely wiped out an island from the world with just one blow. Chapter 31 Yo. A few old things. Not dead yet. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. 10 years old. Destroy an island with one blow. How can this be? Whitebeard is said to be the strongest in the world, but he couldn't destroy the Marine headquarters with one blow. Everyone was in disbelief. In their knowledge, there is no such powerful person in the world. Could such a powerful being still be human? Is there really a devil in the world? Everyone looked at Sengoku, expecting his explanation. Sengoku sighed. Secretly, this day has finally come. That matter will be exposed to the world sooner or later. He picked up the phone and spoke slowly. 36 years ago. A war broke out in West Blue's God's Canyon. Rox D. Yuri, who was only 10 years old, completely exploded because he saw his father's death with his own eyes. He used all his strength, a devil fruit ability that his father snatched. In an instant, a huge roar swept across the entire island. The huge island completely collapsed. Only the 3 largest pieces were left, and the remaining 3 were taken away by Golden Lion Shiki using his devil fruit ability. But Shiki also went through a big battle and is low on energy. One piece fell into East Blue and is now called Treasure Island. The 6 empty boxes on it were the treasure boxes used by the Valley of the Gods to hold rewards. One piece fell into the Devil's Triangle of the Grand Line, and later became the lair of the 7 warlords of the sea, Gecko Moria. A piece dropped into the New World, called Punk Hazard. These 3 islands, because they were destroyed by Devil Fruit, have a common characteristic. The magnetism has completely disappeared. Even if I use the eternal pointer, I can't find it. Sengoku recalls the past. He would never forget the sight of the 10-year-old boy roaring and the color of the world changing. That huge mushroom cloud rising into the sky is so dazzling. Not to be outdone, compete with the sun. Many people have heard of and even visited these 3 islands. They all appeared suddenly in the past few decades, and even with the eternal pointer, you really can't find them. At this time, everyone completely believed Sengoku's words. I also understand how terrifying this guy named Rox D. Yuri is. Everyone went crazy. At only 10 years old, he can destroy an island with one strike, comparable to the ancient weapon. Now 36 years have passed, how terrifying he must be. And such a terrifying person is here now. Everyone. Advertisement. Look at the orange submarine again. Before, the eyes were filled with curiosity and surprise, but now, they were filled with fear and helplessness. What if this person suddenly comes here? Thinking of this, even the vice admirals who have been on the battlefield for a long time are extremely nervous. Whitebeard didn't know what Sengoku was talking about. He only knew that after Captain Rox was defeated, the officers on the ship knew that the situation was over and left. Then I heard that the Valley of Gods had completely disappeared. Did not expect. You also get a fruit. Did you even destroy the Valley of Gods? Are you here to help us leave? Whitebeard murmured. He couldn't imagine it. What kind of pain caused a 10-year-old child, who he thought was the strongest in the world, who trained non-stop in order to become stronger, to burst out with such powerful power? As a user with the most destructive shock fruit ability, Whitebeard is well aware of the characteristics of devil fruit. The more powerful the fruit ability is, the greater the price you need to pay when using it. After using devil fruit for so many years, his internal organs were almost completely shattered by the force of the shock. He is now close to running out of gas. So, how much price will it cost to unleash the demonic power that can destroy the island with all its strength? Physically disabled, shortened lifespan, or will he die from exhaustion and exhaustion? A devil fruit. When it explodes, it can destroy an island. In the eyes of Marine Sengoku, he is a demon walking in the world and the original sin that may destroy the world. In the eyes of the pirate Whitebeard, he is a partner who has endured endless pain and unknown costs, but still has to do something. No matter what the two want to do next. Whether it is to eliminate original sin or to compensate for partners. Rocks D. Yuri, he's here now. As if they had a clear understanding of each other, Whitebeard and Sengoku looked at the orange submarine in the center of the battlefield at the same time, and then shouted together. Come out. The legendary pirate. Evil bloodline. The bearer of the old era. The devil should not exist. Rocks D. Yuri. Yuri. Inside. Quote exclamation mark quote. Advertisement. Huge sound echoed in all directions. Everyone no longer knows how many times they have heard such a cry today. But, you can't go wrong this time. All the evidence points to him. The 10-year-old who destroyed the island. The one who walked out of Impel Down Prison. The one who defeated Mihawk with one sword strike. The one who made Whitebeard, Sengoku, Garp and other super strong people remember him deeply. The one who brought the entire battlefield to a standstill. The man who could possibly destroy the world. He is about to come out. All Marines. No matter if it's an ordinary soldier. He is also a powerful captain-level officer. They all swallowed their saliva, clenched their weapons tightly, and were ready to attack at any time. Orange submarine. Nearby. Luo hugged ghosts and cried, with a smile on his face. Ha, such a scene. You are worthy of being the head of Yuri. Ivankov. Hey. It makes four emperors Whitebeard and Marshal Sengoku shout together, Yuri boy, it's really hockey. Crocodile. You are a guy that even Whitebeard admires. Then before I kill Whitebeard, let me try my hand at you first. Buggy. Ha ha ha, kids, do you see, this is my eldest brother. Buggy's little brother. Who, Captain Buggy is so awesome. He even knows such a legendary character. Long live Captain Buggy. Luffy beamed. Hee, Yuri is coming out, he's so handsome. Shichibukai area. Hancock was breathing rapidly, unable to suppress his emotions, and couldn't help but take a step forward. Mihawk's right hand also involuntarily touched the world's most powerful black knife behind him. His fighting spirit could no longer be suppressed. Hancock. Mihawk. Even you two cold guys will be moved by him. Foo. It's getting more and more interesting. He was talking to someone else, Doflamingo, but he also took a deep breath unconsciously. Scared quack. So my ship appeared because of him. I don't know what his shadow smells like. The shadow scissors in Gecko Moria's hand made a clicking sound. He uses the thriller bark as his base. He knew very well the cruelty on that dilapidated island. Advertisement. The corpses of many powerful men made him famous as 7 warlords of the sea. Now, he wants to know even more how powerful the shadow of the culprit who caused all this is. Under the execution platform. Marine 3 Admiral Zone. Kizaru's expression was solemn. Oh, the research base chosen by Vegapunk was created by him in the Valley of the God of Destruction. Aokiji was even more chilled. Destroy an island. Such power should be frozen in the sea. Akainu rolled lava. Damn it. We must not let such a terrifying guy leave here alive. He and Whitebeard must die here. Bet on Marine's justice. On the execution platform. Sengoku looked serious. When he shouted those words, it meant that he planned to imprison that man in Impel Down again. As the only successor to Rocks, he is too dangerous. Garp. Are you ready? Garp also became serious for the first time in a long time. Sengoku, we have all seen him when he was 10 years old. But are you really sure that you can win him at the age of 46? Sengoku said nothing. The breeze blew, and the cloaks behind the two people whirred. For justice. No matter what. ... Everyone. Look towards the orange submarine. Now, it's the center of the world. It will determine the future direction of this war, this world. Everything is silent, but there is an echo. Finally, everyone heard a creaking sound. That's the shaking from the sofa. That man, he got up. He's coming out. However, the sofa just shook and there was no movement. No one dared to say anything, for fear of disturbing something or missing something. Suddenly, a low and domineering voice emerged from the submarine. Hey, you old guys. Are you still alive? How about Lousy giving you a ride? Ha 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 ha. Chapter 32. Introduce yourself. My name is Rocks D. Yuri. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Little Yuri, what does the Poseidon you said in your dream mean? Little Yuri, tell Daddy about the Republican world in your dream. Little Yuri, do you like the vast continent? Then Daddy, I will create a big territory for you. When the time comes, activate the fruit power to bring all the islands together. Little Yuri, I heard that there are some super powerful devil fruits in the Valley of Gods, and there is one among them that has never appeared before. Dad will go and get it for you right now. Yuri, I'm afraid Dad can no longer take care of you. But Dad believes that you will definitely take care of yourself. After all, you want to surpass Dad and me and become the strongest in the world. Yuri, Rock's pirate, I leave it to you. It's a pity that I didn't get to see the scenery at the top of the world. From now on, you can go see it on behalf of my father. ... Orange submarine. Yuri woke up from his sleep. Alas, have you fallen asleep again? Ever since I ate this devil fruit, I've become more and more sleepy. As Whitebeard said, top-notch fruits not only bring super strength, but also pay a corresponding price. The price for Yuri's comeback is that he needs to sleep most of the year. This is why he slept for several years in the Impel Down Prison. Good thing. This fruit brought him eternal life. And, the passive ability is getting stronger every moment. He used his powers along the way. He had been trapped for 36 years and was weak. He fell asleep just after the submarine landed safely. Okay. It's time to go out, everyone. Yuri turned around, only to find that there was no one in the submarine. Really? Are you so anxious to join the battlefield so soon? Suddenly, he realized something was wrong. It was extremely quiet outside, with no movement at all. What's the situation? The battle is over. Or am I wearing it again? While he was confused, suddenly, two huge sounds came. Come out. The legendary pirate. Evil bloodline. The bearer of the old era. The devil should not exist. Rocks D. Yuri. The voices are familiar, coming from Whitebeard and Sengoku. He remembered his fight with them when he was young. Yuri smiled, and Zoran spoke. Yo. Newgate. Sengoku. Garp. You old guys. Are you still alive? Advertisement. In that case, Lousy will give you a ride. Ha 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 ha. The domineering, deep and hoarse voice echoed over Marineford, and everyone was frightened when they heard it. Whitebeard, Sengoku, Garp. He is a super strong man from the last era. They are very old, and out of respect, people generally call them Dad, Old Man, etc. Now, there was actually one person. On such a solemn occasion. In front of them, in front of their subordinates, relatives, and friends, in front of the whole world. Call them old bastards. And send them to death. How arrogant this is. How tyrannical this is. How tyrannical this is. Hey, how dare you call these three old guys? Damn it. This Yuri is too violent. It's okay for the old guy to say it, but he dares to say that he will send these three to die. Tisk, 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 each of these three are super strong. Who is this Yuri? He doesn't even care about the four emperors, Marine Marshal, and Marine Hero. Listening to this opening statement, I feel like there is a grudge between them. Do you think that when this person named Yuri comes out, will he start fighting with some of them? I think so. After all, we have to send them to death. Next to the orange submarine. Luo, Luffy and others were equally shocked when they heard this. Luffy was a little confused. Ah. Why did Yuri's opening remarks change? Damn it. If I had known, I would have changed it too. Luo's eyes widened. Hey. Yuri is the boss. This is going to break the heavens. Ivankov covered his mouth and exclaimed. Hey. Yuri boy, you are really unexpectedly domineering. A look of surprise appeared in Crocodile's eyes. Huh. Does this guy actually have a grudge against Whitebeard? No. Whitebeard must be mine. It can only be mine. Jinbei was worried. Didn't Mr. Yuri promise to rescue Ace? Why do I feel like I'm going to start a fight with my father? This is not okay. Shichibukai location. There was a gleam of shock in Hancock's eyes, and there was also a wave of excitement and a little secret joy in his heart. So domineering. This is the man that Granny Knee was talking about. This is my fate. Hawkeye's hand holding the knife slowly retracted, with a regretful expression. It seems that he has already chosen his opponent. What a pity. Doflamingo's smile faltered, and then he grinned wider. Phew ha 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 ha, this guy. He is really as domineering as the legend. The shadow behind Gecko Moria squirmed like a tentacled creature, with a face full of surprise. Ha 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 ha, let's fight. Let's fight. The more corpses of the strong, the better. ... Some people are watching the excitement, while others are unhappy. After all, Yuri scolded. But their dear dad, their Marine's face. Hiss. This guy. How dare you call daddy that? And he cursed daddy to die. I can't forgive him. Advertisement. Insulting dad is insulting our entire Whitebeard pirates. This guy must pay the price. Dad, give the order. Kill him. The captains of the Whitebeard regiment are so angry. All the weapons in your hands are aimed at the submarine, ready to attack at any time. Hey, Sengoku-san. Garp-san. They are talking about you like this, but they have lost our Marine's face. Kazaru Pelusali's fingers gathered light, preparing to take action. He respects Sengoku and Garp very much. Else would the guys in that era be so rude? Aokiji Kuzan's face was filled with coldness, and he was about to take action. After all, Garp is his mentor. This guy. How dare you say such arrogant words in front of so many people? Akainu's arms turned into hot lava, ready to take action at any time. His relationship with Sengoku and Garp is average. But being scolded by Marine Marshal and Marine Hero is related to Marine's glory. Marine's face cannot be lost. Yuri hasn't appeared yet. Just one sentence caused shock in all directions, and offended both Marines and pirates at the same time. The two forces are almost ready to take action. However, the people who were the victims suddenly spoke. It doesn't matter. Just let him say it. He has the qualifications and the strength. Besides, you may not be able to take him down yet. He is a ruthless character who, at the age of 10, can rely on armament hockey to fight head-on with Garp. To capture him, we must wait for the opportunity. Sengoku stopped the three admirals' actions and said something that shocked everyone. Garp. That's called Iron Fist. His armament hockey is unparalleled in the world. This guy named Yuri was able to go head-to-head with Garp at the age of 10. What kind of monster is this? Goo la la la. Sons. Stop it. I want to deal with him. But I need to take action myself. Whitebeard also restrained his son's anger. In his impression, 10-year-old Yuri has surpassed any of his sons. Now 36 years have passed. Even if all his sons were present, they would still be no match for him. That's Rock's son. He wants to surpass all of them and become the strongest man in the world. The actions of Sengoku and Whitebeard left everyone thinking. They couldn't help but wonder what kind of person could make both Sengoku and Whitebeard so cautious. Talk more about hearing people's voices. Advertisement. Involuntarily, everyone began to construct Yuri's appearance in their minds. 36 years ago, he is now 46 years old. Could he be a middle-aged man as tall as Whitebeard? I feel like a burly middle-aged man when I can go head-to-head with Vice Admiral Garp. I don't think so. Marshal Sengoku said he is the devil who will destroy the world. He must have a pair of dark devil horns on his head. His appearance should be similar to that of Little Oz. It's ugly and terrifying. No. What are you all guessing? Is there a possibility that this person named Yuri is not a human being? Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Outrageous. More and more outrageous. In the submarine, Yuri, who was almost reaching the cabin door, shook his head speechlessly. Yeah. Get out quickly. If you don't go out, Lousy won't even be a human anymore. Thinking like this, he took steps again. Boom. Step. Boom. 2 steps. Move with his footsteps. The discussions in the huge square disappeared in an instant. Everyone felt as if these steps were stepping on their own heartbeat. Involuntarily, he turned his gaze to the orange submarine. Boom. After another set of footsteps, the light at the door of the submarine cabin suddenly changed. Coming. He's coming out. Everyone held their breath for a moment, widened their eyes, and stared at the door of the submarine cabin. Suddenly, a pale, slender right hand clawed up the metallic glossy hatch. I saw my fingers bending and exerting a little force. The light in the hatch instantly dimmed. Then, a figure wearing a white robe walked out. He looked around and greeted everyone around him, grinning gently and showing his white teeth. I kept everyone waiting. Introduce yourself. My name is Yuri. Rox D. Yuri. Chapter 33 World Government's Plan. The Wrath of the Five Elders. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Introduce yourself. My name is Rox D. Yuri. Yuri stood at the cabin door, looked around, and smiled. He is about 1.8 meters tall and thin. His face is as handsome as a 20-year-old boy. Wearing a pure white gown that is not stained by dust, long black hair swaying in the wind, with a bright and warm smile on his face, he looks like a carefree noble man. Everyone was stunned. In their minds, they constructed countless versions of Yuri in fantasy, which suddenly overlapped with Yuri in reality, and then shattered. The real Yuri, shouldn't he be? The figure is burly and covered in scars. Mature and steady, immovable as a mountain. The eyes are sharp and breathtaking. Like an abyss or a prison, he is unrivaled in dominance. Every move is earth-shattering. How could it be? The figure is thin and pale as frost. Young and delicate, with a bright smile. The eyes are warm and the things are moisturized silently. Like the sun and the moon, it shines on all things. Every move makes me sick. This young face is 46 years old. As this thin figure and sickly appearance a super strong man. This handsome guy with a bright smile is the devil who destroys the island and wants to destroy the world. He looks like this. I'm afraid his strength is not as good as mine. Is he going to be a legendary pirate? No. Whitebeard and Sengoku, did they make a mistake? Is this person really the legendary pirate, super strong, and world-destroying Rox D. Yuri that they say? Could it be that it's a fake? Everyone can't believe it. This is Yuri. It's as if chasing stars has failed. It seems like the illusion is shattered again. They collectively lost their voice. Even Whitebeard, who had grown up seeing Yuri, was shocked for a while. In his mind, Yuri perfectly inherited his father Rock's talent. At only 10 years old, he is already nearly 1 meter tall, with a burly figure, majestic like an ancient fantasy beast, terrifying strength, agility, and endless physical strength. If his eyes weren't still as gentle as before, he would have thought he had recognized the wrong person. Immediately, he became angry. Yuri, what happened? A living person was tortured like this. This is his captain and his most beloved son. It's Rock's pirate, the treasure in countless people's hearts. Even during training, they were all afraid of hurting Yuri. But now, advertisement. The body is so thin that it looks like it could be blown over by a gust of wind. Hey, Yuri, tell me, how did you become like this? Whitebeard stared at Yuri, his voice low, suppressing endless anger. The naginata in his hand was stamped on the deck, and the entire atmosphere suddenly vibrated, and the surrounding seawater also began to tremble. Whitebeard, angry. The strongest man in the world was furious when he saw Yuri. Yuri understands what Whitebeard means. He saw Whitebeard, concern and anger in his eyes. After all, the two have been together for 10 years, training together, drinking together, watching the sunset together, and talking about their ideals together, partners. Yuri smiled. He didn't want to say anything. What could he say? He said that he was not strong enough and was imprisoned on the 6th floor of the Impel Down Prison after his defeat. He was imprisoned for 36 years. 36 years of not seeing the light of day. 36 years of loneliness and torture. Plus the aftermath of the devil fruit outbreak in the Valley of the Gods. Did it become what it is now? Please. We are pirates. The loser loses everything. This is the law of pirates. When Yuri didn't answer, Whitebeard suppressed his anger and looked at Sengoku on the execution platform. Hello, Sengoku. You should know my relationship with Yuri. Tell me, what exactly did you Marines do to him in the past 36 years? Sengoku didn't care about Whitebeard's questioning tone. Because, he and Garp were also stunned. Although they know that Yuri is in Impel Down, they must be having a bad time. But I never expected that the burly young man from the Valley of Gods would turn into what he is now. Is it because of that plan? Decades ago, the world government caught a scientist who swallowed the brain fruit. His level of knowledge is hundreds of years ahead of today's world. Then, the world government did not choose to kill him. Instead, he was left to work for the world government and recruited evil scientist Geisa and others to conduct a secret research. Genetic modification plan. Since it is genetic modification, experimental subjects are naturally needed. And the Son of Rocks, who destroyed the Valley of the Gods with one blow and had terrifying talent potential, became the best experimental subject. Of course, Yuri is just one of the experimental subjects. There are also many experimental branches that were captured from many countries and are not nationals of countries that have joined the world government. When Sengoku and Garp learned about this plan, they were firmly opposed to it. But, at that time, they were one admiral and one vice admiral. Advertisement. What qualifications and powers do they have to stop the Celestial Dragon's Five Elders plan? As time passes slowly, the surname Rocks is deliberately hidden by the world government. As well as being busy with work, Sengoku and Garp also forgot about this matter. The two looked at each other, nodded with heavy expressions, and seemed to have made a decision. So, Sengoku picked up the phone with a heavy expression. Rocks D. Yuri, the 36 years he was imprisoned. The world government will extract half of his blood every year and use his body to conduct a human experiment. We are responsible for this matter. After saying this, Sengoku breathed a sigh of relief, as if a heavy burden had been lifted. Such human experiments by the world government are an affront to the justice they bear. Even though this matter has nothing to do with them, Marine, what the world government does is no different from what Marine does. If you can take this opportunity to cancel this plan, even if you lose some reputation, it will be worth it. After all, this is justice. Human experiments. Half the blood drawn every year. Everyone was shocked when they heard this. Is this still the world government that works hard for world peace in my impression? I didn't expect you to be like this. Disappointed. Lousy wants to resign. This battle was broadcast live around the world. Sengoku's words also spread throughout the see-through telephone bugs. Everyone knows the ugly side of world government. Member countries sigh helplessly. The pirates are taunting the world government crazily. Revolutionary army, the will to resist becomes stronger. Suddenly, the prestige of world government was greatly reduced. Holy place, Mariejois. The five elders saw the live broadcast on the phone bug and became angry. HMPH. This guy Sengoku. Can you tell the public about such a thing? I think he has been a marshal for a long enough time. After this incident is over, let's start the selection of a new Marine Marshal. Seconded. Agree. Can. What about Rocks D. Yuri? Judging from the experimental subject, his devil fruit ability, which has never appeared before, is too powerful. If left unchecked, I'm afraid it will be a huge threat to us. Quote. We don't have enough authority. Let's ask the person from the Knights of God. Good. Agree. No problem. Holy land, Mariejois, deep in the clouds. Saint Fegaland Garin, who has bright red hair as long as a crescent moon, is enjoying a comfortable hot spring bath. The scar on his chest rises and falls with the water waves, disappearing and appearing. Advertisement. In and around the bathtub, there are countless top-notch beauties. Each one of them is the daughter of aristocrats from the countries that have joined the world government, as well as slaves of various rare races. As a celestial dragons, he could do whatever he wanted with these women. Of course, he was like this when he was young. Most celestial dragons do the same thing. Now, I am very old and have no strength. He was more happy to see these beautiful women, who were all stunning outside, looking nervous and trembling with fear in front of him. Brew brew. Suddenly, the phone rang. There are only 3 types of people who can contact him. One is the adult who is still sleeping. One is a member of his Knights of God. Another one is the world government 5 elders. Saint Garen. Rox D. Yuri. Escaped. Do you want to ask the master for instructions? Hearing this name, Zhilain Sheng was stunned for a moment. Immediately, a burly young man who wielded a stunning sword in the Valley of Gods appeared in front of him. That's right. Fegaland Garen Saint. 36 years ago, I fought against Yuri. At that time, the Rox pirate, as well as pirates from other forces were attacking, and the reinforcements Garp and Sengoku had not yet arrived. They, the Knights of God and the Celestial Dragons 5 elders, were outnumbered. During the war, Zhilain Shengang's 1-year-old son was lost. When he found his son, he found a boy about 10 years old saving his son from a pirate. The young man glanced at him and said, "Your massacre game ends here." Then he swung his knife. In an instant, the sky and the earth turned pale. Blood-red slashes mixed with black lightning came straight towards him. ... Huh. Saint Zhilain stroked the scar on his chest. He can still feel the pain faintly coming from the scar. But he doesn't blame Yuri. Because Yuri saved his son. Otherwise, he would not be able to protect his son in such a battlefield. So, he did one thing. He brought back a beautiful beauty from Nine Snakes Island who was captured as a slave by Mariejois and raised her well to repay Yuri's kindness. You saved my son. I saved your woman too. We're even. So, you can go on your way with peace of mind. Zhilain Sheng picked up the phone again. That gentleman is in a critical period of sleep. You cannot disturb him. We, the Knights of God, are not in a position to take action. You asked Sengoku to capture Rox D. Yuri. This time, it doesn't matter life or death. Does it matter whether you live or die? Got it. Chapter 34 Whitebeard, it's time to return to the organization. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Marine Headquarters, Marineford. Sengoku has received the latest order from 5 elders. Rox D. Yuri. Possessed of the power to destroy the world, he must be captured here, in Marineford. No matter life or death. No matter life or death. Can such a guy really be caught? Sengoku breathed out. The Whitebeard pirates are already troublesome enough. Add Yuri from Rox to the mix, and you will really create a problem for me. Sengoku was helpless. Even if he is Marine Marshal, he can only obey the orders of the 5 elders. However, before the war started, there was one more thing he was curious about. Rox D. Yuri. With your strength, you escaped from the Impel Down Prison. You can definitely leave. But not only did you not choose to leave, you came here instead. Here, Marine's top combat power is gathered. 100,000 elite sailors. Naval Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral. 7 Warlords of the Sea. Naval Headquarters 3 Admiral. And me and Garp. You should know. With your special status, we will definitely take action with all our strength. Even with your strength, it's not that easy to leave. Why? Sengoku's voice spread throughout the square through the loudspeaker phone bug. Marines, I just remembered that Yuri hasn't said the purpose of coming here yet. Luffy and the others came to save Ace. What about this pirate who has nothing to do with Ace and even seems to have a grudge against Whitebeard? And it sounds like he has a special identity. What could it be? In front of the submarine, Yuri cheered up. He naturally has his own purpose in coming here. First, he promised Luffy to help him save Ace. He also plans to give it a try. Whether he can be saved or not is none of his business. He would not fight to the death with Marine Admiral to save Roger's son, an irrelevant Ace. Can't beat it. He will be beaten to death. He's not the stupid young man like Luffy. As for the second thing. Hey, Sengoku, Where is the live phone bug? Yuri asked. Everyone was a little confused. I don't understand why he wants to broadcast the phone bug. Even though he was called the resourceful general, Sengoku couldn't figure out what Yuri was going to do. However, the enemy's wish will definitely not come true. Sengoku has no intention of complying with Yuri's request. Brother Yuri. Here, here. Suddenly, the submarine was not far away. In Buggy's hand, he was holding an oversized telephone bug with an aggrieved look on his face, and he was waving his hands happily. It turns out that at some point, he had already caught the live phone bug. Good job, Buggy. Yuri came to the live phone and cleared his throat. Hey. Hey, hey. Everyone on the TV. Bah. Dear viewers in front of the phone bugs, everyone. Advertisement. Phone bug audience. He bawled at me. He actually bawled at me. Speaking of which, Yuri looked up at the sky. I don't know when. Dark clouds covered the sky again. Brother Yuri, it's almost noon. Buggy whispered beside him. Ahem. Good afternoon, everyone. You must have heard the question Marshal Sengoku asked me just now. As for me, I'm afraid of trouble when doing things, so I said it once in front of my fellow countrymen, well, the whole world. After saying this, Yuri's expression changed. Serious. Serious. Solemn. Pious. I, Rox D. Yuri. Captain Rox Pirate. We hereby declare that the Rox Pirate is back. The low and majestic voice, with the help of the live phone bug, spread across the entire sea in an instant. Suddenly, the wind picked up. In fact, this is the main reason why Yuri came to Marine headquarters. A live broadcast for the whole world. What could be more shocking to the world than announcing the return of Rox Pirate at this moment? Rox Pirate. What? I've never heard of it. What? I thought he had some big plan, but it turns out he just promoted his pirate group. At the Marine headquarters, promoting the pirates. There is something wrong with your brain. An unknown small pirate group. As the captain, he has been imprisoned for 36 years. Who knows if there are any crew members alive on the ship? PFF'd. He's about to be destroyed by Marine. What's the use of announcing his return now? Ignorant people ridicule wantonly. They have no idea what the name Rox represents. But, informed, already smelled it. That's the smell of gunpowder smoke that sweeps the entire world and is everywhere. This man named Rox D. Yuri, with one simple sentence, will change the whole world. Luffy pressed his hat and grinned. You are so handsome, Yuri. I will do it again when the time comes. Luo's eyes widened. Hey, hey, hey. The head of Yuri is really messing around. Don't even look at what the occasion is now. Ivankov. Hey, Yuri boy, he's getting more and more handsome. Crocodile's eyes suddenly widened, and he finally remembered. Rox Pirate. His rocks, are those rocks? Jinbei looked at the execution platform. Oh. Things seem to have gone off track. That's good, no one will pay attention to Ace. Foo 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 foo. Phew ha 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 ha. The gears of fate are starting to turn. This world is about to go berserk. Doflamingo holds his hands to the sky and laughs maniacally. Is that legendary pirate group coming back? Mahawk, the Hawkeye, has felt the endless aura of war. This world is going to change. This is what Granny Nee will never forget. Rox Pirate. Advertisement. This is the man she said can change the whole world. Hancock's eyes were filled with fascination. Her childhood story is Granny Twisted's pirate career. She grew up with Rox. It's so scary. Kizaru adjusted his glasses. Ah la la. Is it appropriate to talk about this here? Kuzan's expression was grim. This guy. What does he think of the Marine headquarters? Lava surged on Akainu's face. On the execution platform, Sengoku almost broke his teeth. This guy. This damn guy. He actually said this at this moment. On the side, Garp sighed silently. Sengoku. I haven't heard this name in 36 years. It seems like things are really going to change. Even if you become a Marine hero. Even Marine's strongest combat power. Garp still feels suffocated when he recalls the man in the Valley of Gods. That man named Rox D. Zebek. And now Rox D. Yuri has inherited his will and is back. On the Moby Dick, Whitebeard was stunned when he heard the name. What a familiar name. What a long memory. That place used to be his home. But now, he has a home of his own. Gu la la la. Yuri, times have changed. The glory of rocks has faded. Can you really carry this banner that is the enemy of the whole world? ... Distant New World. 100 Beasts. Kaido was sitting on his flagship, drinking strong wine. The Beasts pirates are preparing to take advantage of this rare opportunity to launch a raid on the headquarters of the Whitebeard pirates. Suddenly, Jin walked in hurriedly. Brother Kaido. Something big happened at Marine headquarters. Kaido took another sip of wine. Ha 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 ha, has that Whitebeard guy been defeated? Lousy knows that if he goes like this, he will die. No. Someone fell from the sky and announced something to the whole world. Kaido realizes something is wrong. Jin is calm and decisive, and will not come to him if there is no big problem. Suddenly, he paused with the bottle in his hand. What's the matter? Rocks D. Yuri. He declares, Rocks pirate, return. Kaido was stunned and the bottle dropped to the ground. ... New World. All nations. Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin is enjoying the desserts presented by her children. Well. Suddenly, the chef ran over quickly with a very ugly look on his face. He is one of the founders of the Big Mom Pirates and a crew member of the Rocks Pirate. Linlin. Something bad is going on. Hearing this sentence, the expressions of all the children around him changed drastically. Their mother hates people interrupting her meal. At least, lose your temper. Advertisement. More importantly, beat him up violently if he loses his mind. Linlin's eyes began to roll. No. Mom is going berserk. Go and fetch the second brother. All the children panicked. Among them, only the second oldest brother, Katakuri, had the power to stop his mother for even a moment. No need. Look at me. Long loaf of bread, throw out the phonograph bug from your hand. I, Rocks D. Yuri, Captain Rocks Pirate. We hereby declare that the Rocks Pirate is back. A low, majestic voice echoed in the restaurant. What's the use of a voice? What a little Rocks Pirate. The children were anxious to death. Suddenly, they found that their mother was stunned. ... New World, Unknown Waters. The red-haired man stood at the bow of the boat, thinking about the sound just now, with a serious expression. ... Unknown seas, unknown islands. The big man with a hood and tattoos on his face has an unpredictable expression. ... New World, Beehive Island. New World, the Fishmen Island. Uncharted Waters, Golden Casino. ... Every place, every big shot. After hearing the news, his expression suddenly changed. ... Marine headquarters, Marineford. Yuri's goal from beginning to end is to recreate the glory of Rocks. He promised his father that he would go and see the best in this world on his behalf. But now, he was very disappointed. The Rocks Pirate, which was once famous all over the world and made Marines scared, not many people know about it anymore. The Marines were discussing this name wantonly. How sad it would be if his father were still alive. It seems that Rocks has really become a forgotten person of the times. It doesn't matter. Just let me, Rocks D. Yuri, bring this world back to that era again. That's the era of Rocks. Thinking of this, Yuri looked at the Whitebeard group with a serious expression. Hello, Edward Newgate. As a former member of Rocks Pirate, it's time for you to return. With one word spoken, the world becomes silent. Chapter 35. Didn't you all clear the place before the battle? Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Whitebeard, it's time to return to the organization. The faint words echoed in the sky above Marineford. Although the words are short, the amount of information contained is too great. Everyone who was mocking this Rocks Pirate just now, who is this little pirate group in the corner, is now buzzing and a little confused. Hey, what does this mean? Whitebeard, how is he related to the Rocks Pirate? What Yuri means is that the strongest man in the world was once a member of the Rocks Pirate. Huge breaking news. Isn't it possible? If this is true, why have I never heard of this pirate group? Yuri, the captain of Rocks Pirate, has been imprisoned in Impel Down Prison for 36 years. How could you have heard of what happened 36 years ago? Hiss. This message is so terrifying. A man as strong as Whitebeard is actually this little brother named Yuri. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now I'm a little curious, who are the other people in this former Rocks pirate? Everyone finally knew. Rocks Pirate is not a little unknown pirate group. It also has its own glorious history, and Whitebeard is one of its crew members. And now, Rocks D. Yuri, the captain of Rocks Pirate, comes to ask Whitebeard to return to the pirate group. Today's Whitebeard is the Four Emperors, the world's strongest man, and the captain of the Whitebeard Pirates. Will he choose to return? Everyone hurriedly looked at Whitebeard on the bow deck of the Moby Dick. Maybe it's because people are getting old. Hearing the voice of my former partner always brings me back to memories. Whitebeard recalled the scene on Rock's ship. Rock's group is his home. Return to Rock's Pirate. Looking around, his sons were looking at him with concern. Looking ahead, there is a son on the execution platform, waiting for his rescue. Gu la 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 la. Whitebeard looked at Yuri, who was not far away, and raised the corner of his mouth. Yuri. Now the Whitebeard Pirates are my home. The meaning is obvious. Whitebeard, he refused. Everyone immediately looked at Yuri again. I want to know what the Rocks pirate captain will do after being rejected by the crew. In front of the orange submarine. The warm smile on Yuri's face gradually disappeared. Newgate. What do you mean, you don't want to return? Whitebeard heard this and did not answer. There is actually no difference between not answering at this time and answering. Yuri's expression slowly darkened. You must have remembered the rules of the Rocks pirate, right? Anyone who does not respond to the captain's call may be killed. Advertisement. At this point, Yuri shouted sharply, Whitebeard. Do you want to die? As soon as the word, death, came out, Whitebeard's expression changed. He narrowed his eyes slightly and stared at Yuri. Gu la 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 la, then come and try it. The two looked at each other with extremely serious expressions. The momentum around him is gradually rising. A strong pressure began to brew around. Everyone felt the smell of gunpowder. Foo 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 foo. Isn't it so exciting as soon as you get started? It's really interesting. Doflamingo looked at Whitebeard, then at Yuri, the corner of his mouth raised high. With this momentum, it looks like we are really going to take action. The battle between the world's strongest and the world-destroying demon. Mihawk felt the change in the atmosphere around him, and his eyes were filled with fighting intent. How dare you touch a man who is in the same body as me? Hancock was angry, adjusted his posture, and was ready to take action at any time. Oh, Kizaru raised his eyebrows. Huh. Aokiji frowned. HMPH. Akainu roared angrily. The three of them knew about the relationship between Whitebeard and Yuri. They were ready to go to war with Whitebeard and Yuri at the same time. Unexpectedly, things developed beyond their expectations. Marshal Sengoku, what should we do? Kizaru asked Sengoku. If they want to fight, let them fight. Sengoku didn't expect that things would develop in this direction. He doesn't. Their marine targets are Whitebeard and Yuri. The more intense the fight between the two, the more serious the casualties, the better for Marine. He is happy to see its success and wait and see what happens. Ah, Yuri, why are you fighting with Ace's dad? Cannot be done. Luffy is confused. Crocodile planned to take action before, but he stopped him. This time Yuri took action, he also planned to stop it. Before he could make a move, Luo spoke, the Straw Hat boss. You can't take action this time. Quote. Ah, why? Luffy was confused. They are former partners. This is an internal matter within Rock's Pirate. It is a matter between the captain and the crew. The sea. There are rules of the sea. Advertisement. The pirate group handles internal affairs. If other pirate groups interfere, it is a provocation. It's a declaration of war. Luffy understood the seriousness of this matter and stayed aside depressed. He didn't want anything to go wrong in rescuing Ace, but now he could only wait. Damn it. How dare this guy do this to daddy? The captains of the White Regiment were very unhappy with Yuri and wanted to take action, but were stopped by Marco, the captain of the 1st Division. Marco was the first to follow Whitebeard. He knew that this matter could only be solved by his father himself. Then, the entire battlefield. Everyone's eyes turned to Whitebeard and Yuri, who were ready to go. Suddenly, the two of them moved. Go towards each other. The steps are slow but steady. With every step he takes, his momentum increases to a higher level. 10 meters. 5 meters. 3 meters. 2 meters. ... The two are about to collide. When the momentum around them collides with each other, a strong wind pressure is formed, sweeping all around. The strongest in the world. The world-destroying demon. The war is about to begin. Suddenly, the strong wind disappeared instantly. The two reached out and hugged each other at the same time. Gu la la la. Ha ha ha. Then, Whitebeard took out the wine he had prepared from behind and handed it to Yuri. His eyes were red. 36 years, Yuri. I really miss you so much. Yuri was also very touched. The Whitebeard in front of him once had flowing blonde hair, was young and healthy, and was mighty and majestic. Unexpectedly, it was just a nap in prison. When he appeared in front of him again, his hair had fallen out, his body was exhausted, and he was old. Forget it, your body is going to drink you to death if you drink any more. Yuri knew that Whitebeard was now relying on a bottle to survive. Gu la la la. That's not bad. If I can learn about you before I die, I will have no regrets even if I die. Advertisement. Whitebeard thrust the bottle into Yuri's arms, knocked it, and drank first. Yuri had no choice but to drink it too. Ha ha ha, what a great drink. Gula lala, I'm sure. Lousy as Whitebeard. The two of them just ignored everyone, chatting and drinking. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Everyone around was stunned when they saw this scene. They don't understand what's going on now. Aren't you about to start F-King? Why are you still drinking? When you drink, you have to set the occasion. Here. But Marine headquarters. With 100,000 sailors and dozens of naval headquarters elite vice admirals. Unnamed 7 warlords of the sea. Naval headquarters 3 admiral. Marine hero and marine marshal. You two pirates are drinking heavily in front of us. Do you take our marine seriously? Hateful. Whitebeard. And that Yuri from Rock's pirate. You two. What kind of place is this? If you want to drink it, go back and drink it, lousy. Marine's face turned red with anger and he cursed angrily. How dare you scold the man I am concubine with? Hancock, who was enjoying Yuri drinking, became angry when he heard this and was ready to take action. Suddenly, after drinking several glasses of wine, Yuri turned his head and yelled angrily, noisy. Then, he looked at Whitebeard and spoke drunkenly. Newgate. Hiccup. Looking at the drunk Yuri, Whitebeard finally realized that the person in front of him was pouring the cup. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He was about to say something when he heard Yuri continue to speak. It seems you are really old. Hiccup. Don't you clear the place before the battle? Hearing this, Whitebeard suddenly thought of something. He stood up hurriedly, looked at everyone in the white group, and said loudly, all crew members below captain level, retreat immediately. Sengoku seemed to have thought of something, his eyes widened, and he spoke eagerly, quick. Stop him immediately. Chapter 36. This is called cleaning the battlefield. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Whitebeard and Sengoku spoke at the same time. Whitebeard, tell crew members below captain level to retreat quickly. Although the pirates in the white group don't know the reason, they just do what their father says. All the pirates, even those who had already attacked the square area, retreated quickly. Sengoku, on the other hand, asked the Marines to take action and stop him. Everyone knows who he represents. It's the captain of the Rock's pirate, Rock's D. Yuri, who is getting up dizzy after being drunk too much. Although they didn't know what Marshal Sengoku asked them to stop, they had to carry out the Marshal's order. The two giants closest to Yuri, Vice Admiral, immediately waved their giant axes and struck Yuri hard. There is also one, Gecko Moria, one of the 7 warlords of the sea. He had long been envious of Whitebeard and Yuri's shadows, and while they were drinking, he quietly touched them. At this time, Sengoku gave the order, which was exactly what he wanted. He ga ga ga. The shadows of you two belong to me. A pair of shadow scissors appeared in Moria's hand, and she rushed towards the shadows of Whitebeard and Yuri. The two giants, Vice Admiral's attack and Moria's scissors, arrived almost at the same time. Seeing this scene, Whitebeard showed no intention of helping and still sat calmly on the ground. The eyes looking at the three people were full of ridicule. Really? Does anyone dare to approach Yuri now? It's really ignorant. Almost as he spoke, Yuri stood up unsteadily. His drinking capacity is indeed not good. When I was 10 years old, I poured it out when I touched it. 36 years later, things are getting a little better, at least I can't stop drinking. Shaking his body, Yuri looked in Marine's direction. Oncoming were two giants, Vice Admiral's giant axe, and Moria's scissors. Yuri murmured quietly as if he didn't notice. Newgate. It seems that you are really about to die. As he spoke, his eyes narrowed, and then suddenly widened. Can't you even clear Conqueror's place? Boom. Suddenly, the world has changed. Light and shadow are distorted. Bloody dance. Black thunder shines. The wind is blowing. The waves are huge. Yuri's powerful haki was released from his eyes. Bear the brunt. The two giants, Vice Admiral, instantly turned their eyes white, and their huge bodies fell to the ground, shaking all directions. As for the 7 warlords of the sea Moria, he wasn't much better. The shadow scissors in his hand were directly scattered by haki. He himself only carried it for less than a second before his eyes rolled back and he fell unconscious. Then, as if in reality, the arrogant conqueror's haki swept across the entire battlefield. Everywhere you go, regardless of whether it's a pirate that Baituan didn't have time to leave. It's Marine who charges here. Like wheat, they fell to the ground one by one. Oh, what a scary conquerors. Advertisement. Huh. What a troublesome ability. Huh. This is not a place for you to mess around. Suddenly, 3 rays of red, green and yellow light shine. Naval Headquarters 3 Admiral, while elements appear in the center of the square. The 3 of them stretched out their palms together, as if they were actual haki. Touch. Yuri's Conqueror's haki. Armament haki is out with the 3 admirals. Produce a strong impact. Everyone seemed to see that the haki mask, which was composed of red, green and yellow, collided with a blood-red mask. All around, light and shadow twist and change. Black lightning jumps. CC Kwang Ka. Finally, there was a sound like breaking glass. The 2 light masks were shattered at the same time. However, the blood-red light shield still had some remaining power, passing over the 3 admirals and rolling towards the marine behind them. Suddenly, another burst of people fell on their backs. 3. Admiral turned his head and looked at Marine, who had nearly half of them fallen behind him, with an ugly look on his face. They looked around the entire battlefield again, their expressions even more ugly. The huge Marine headquarters has a total of 100,000 Marines. After they took action to stop it, there were only a few thousand people standing there. But the only thing that made them feel better was the Whitebeard pirates are not much better. Of the nearly 40,000 pirates, there were only about 1,000 standing at the moment. Everyone was completely shocked. Rox D. Yuri. With just one look, the number of people on the battlefield was reduced by more than 90%. Hey, is this what he said about clearing the place? Even 3 admirals couldn't stop him. It's so pervert. What a terrifying conqueror's haki. It seems that numbers have no effect on a strong man like him. Not for a strong man like him. But for him. Didn't you see that Whitebeard didn't release conquerors? It means that this Yuri's conqueror's haki is stronger than the current Whitebeard. Everyone was shocked and speechless for a long time. I finally understand what it means to clean up the battlefield. This conqueror's haki. Doflamingo suppressed the shock in his eyes. Only those who also own conqueror's haki know how powerful this conqueror's haki is. But the stronger Yuri is, the happier he is. It seems that the era of rampage has arrived. Fu. As this his conqueror's haki. Now it seems that he is no worse than that man. Mihawk was equally amazed. He has fought against the redhead and knows how powerful his conqueror's haki is, the strongest in the world. Now it seems that there is another such a strong man in the world. As this. The man I am destined to be. Ah. So domineering. Hancock twisted his legs and covered his red cheeks with his hands, full of shyness. On the execution platform. Looking at the square filled with fainting people and the executioner who also fainted on the ground beside him, Sengoku looked very ugly. Advertisement. This guy. I have been imprisoned for 36 years, and my body is so weak, but I can still release such a powerful conqueror's haki. It seems that we have to keep him today no matter what. Garp. With an equally grim expression. His haki. No worse than his father. If it's true as Whitebeard said, he will surpass all of us and become the strongest in the world. It seems that we two old bones are going to suffer a lot today. Only conquerors, against conquerors. In Marine, only he and Sengoku know conqueror's haki. But at his and Sengoku's age, releasing conquerors puts too much burden on the body. Today's battle is a tough one. The white group is here. Whitebeard looked at the fallen crew members behind him and shook his head helplessly. Gulala. Yuri, this guy. I still like to mess around as much as before. A battle breaks out at Rock's Pirate. Because of Yuri's young age, Rox did not allow him to participate in the battle. In order to make his own contribution, Yuri, who is only a few years old, likes to have a wave of conquerors before the battle. Often, after a wave of impact, no one could stand on the other side. Just like this moment. No. This moment is more terrifying than that moment. Looking at Marine, where there were only less than 10,000 people standing, Whitebeard looked at the dizzy Yuri and whispered, "Are you helping me?" Whitebeard did not choose to start a war at this time. Neither does Sengoku. As if there was a tacit understanding, both parties silently carried the person who had fainted. Then, a very strange scene appeared on the battlefield. Marines and pirates won't fight even if they meet. Running on the battlefield over and over again, taking away his own corpse. That's right. It's a corpse. At least, that's how it is from the perspective of the live broadcast audience. They can only see. The captain of the Rock's Pirate stood up in a daze. Afterwards, Marine and Pirate Fang fell to the ground in groups. They had no idea what was going on. At this time. Confused. What's happening here? Could it be that Marine and Pirates are acting together? No way. Those are Marine and Pirates. Why is it impossible? The world government is still conducting human experiments. That makes sense. Advertisement. They didn't know about Conqueror's impact, so it seemed to them that the men on both sides fell to the ground on their own. But, someone knows. Several supernovas whose reputations had spread throughout the first half of the Grand Line all had their eyes widened at this time. In one meeting, they defeated Marines and Pirates, a total of hundreds of thousands of people. Hey, this Yuri, is he really a human? Kid's eyes widened in disbelief. Kira, we need to become stronger as soon as possible. Hiss. What a terrifying power. Uroja's face was filled with astonishment, and he licked his lips immediately, his eyes shining. If I use this attack to strengthen my causal power. So strong. Bonnie opened his mouth wide in shock and didn't even react when the pizza fell. Then he looked at a figure in the live broadcast. Damn it. Where is such a pervert guy? I don't know if Dad will be okay. Probability. 0.00%. Hawkins turned over the tarot cards in his hand, lowered his eyes, and repeated. The probability of survival if you encounter him is 0.00%. At the same time. Impel Down the Big Prison. Thief, ha 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 ha. Magellan, you didn't expect that. Shiryu is actually mine. Thief, ha 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 ha. All members of the Blackbeard pirates stood in front of Magellan, who was seriously injured and fell to the ground after being attacked by Shiryu, laughing arrogantly. Just when he was about to take action to deal with this terrifying enemy who almost wiped them out with one blow. A powerful haki swept over. Everyone in the black group was immediately startled. It's not that this haki has caused harm to them, but that this haki has just been felt by them not long ago. The same blow suppressed them all to the ground. Blackbeard's expression changes. He thought a lot and finally made a decision. Never mind. I won't kill you this time. Anyway, in your current state, you can't stop my plan. That's right. Blackbeard took this Hawkeye as a warning to kill Magellan. After all, that man. It was just to trap Magellan and not choose to kill him. If he doesn't kill, it's definitely not because he can't kill, but because he has a reason not to kill. Hey, Blackbeard, are you really not going to kill him? Shiryu frowned. Magellan defeated him and imprisoned him on the 6th floor of Impel Down. He was very unhappy. Blackbeard turned his head and stared at Shiryu fiercely. Hey, don't do this. You should have felt the terror of that man. This Hawkeye came by such a coincidence, I don't dare to bet on it. It's just a Magellan. It's not worth offending him for this. Let's go to the 6th floor. Looking at the Blackbeard pirates retreating. Magellan was dejected. My teammates betrayed me, but the enemy saved me. Immediately, he looked in the direction of Marine headquarters. Even so, I won't thank you. Chapter 37 Sengoku. You don't want the Valley of Gods scene to reappear, right? Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Some things are destined to be inevitable. Like Summit War. However, it is different from the original. Those on both sides who lacked strength were all removed in an unreasonable manner. The remaining ones are all powerful and famous people. Without the hindrance of these little rookies, the next battle will only become more terrifying. The cause of all this was the figure in white robe who drank too much and was swaying near the orange submarine. Hiccup. Newgate. Your body seems to be really failing. It's just a matter of clearing the place. I can't even do it anymore. So, return to Rock's pirate quickly and I will find someone to help you heal. In the world of pirates, Devil Fruit has rich and colorful abilities. It has the ability to make people live forever, let alone heal physical injuries. Not to mention, there is a guy on this battlefield who has this ability. 7 Warlords of the Sea, Tyrant, Bartholomew Bear. He is a person with the ability of the meatball fruit. He can eject the pain and disease from the human body in unreasonable ways. With his action, Whitebeard's body, even if it cannot return to its peak, will not be as close to exhausted as it is now. Gu la la la. Yuri, as you can see, I have a group of sons now. Whitebeard shook his head. In Rock's Pirate, spending time with Yuri is certainly a joy. But now, my son is in trouble. This family is indispensable without him. Family. Yuri thought about the rocks who went to snatch the devil fruit for him. With your body, I guess this is the last battle. What happens after that? You understand your own body. Whitebeard naturally knows what condition his body is in now. He knows it too. Wait until you die in battle. The Whitebeard pirates are in a very dangerous situation. Advertisement. Kaido. Linlin, everyone looked at him covetously. Marine regards him as a thorn in his flesh and wants to get rid of him as soon as possible. There is also the defected Blackbeard. With his ambition, sooner or later he will take action against the Whitebeard pirates. This time, he knew it all. So, he has to rescue Ace this time. Not only because Ace is his son, but also because Ace is the only one in the Whitebeard pirates who has the potential to reach the top. After all, he is the bloodline of Roger, the Pirate King. Gu la la la. Whitebeard looked at Ace on the execution platform with a smile on his lips. I must rescue Ace. The Whitebeard pirates must have successors. Yuri always has only one idea about saving Ace. Do your best without endangering your own life. After all, Ace has nothing to do with him. He can even be considered the son of his enemy. Of course, Yuri doesn't like that. The causal relationship that imposes the grievances of the previous generation on the next generation. He has no grudge against Ace. But now, it's different. Whitebeard must rescue Ace, and he will most likely die in battle. And he wants Whitebeard to return to the Rocks group, so Whitebeard cannot die. Then, let's cooperate. Let me help you rescue Ace. You find your heir, I get my crew. Yuri made a suggestion, one that Whitebeard would find extremely difficult to refuse. Because he also knows that if the Whitebeard pirates alone want to rescue Ace with so much combat power at the Marine headquarters, the success rate is extremely low. It's different now. If Yuri joins, the success rate will be greatly increased. Gu la la la. Yuri. After this battle, even if I don't die, I will be useless. Why do you insist that I return to Rock's pirate? Whitebeard smiled bitterly. Because I promised the old man to restore the glory of Rock's pirate. The Rock's pirate wouldn't be complete without yours. Whether it's you, or Linlin and Kaido, we must return. Advertisement. Having said this, Yuri shook his head. What a pity. Rock's pirate, I have made a rule, you cannot kill your friends. Otherwise, even if I beat you to death, I will take your bodies home. The words are very clear. Whitebeard also knew Yuri's determination. Good. I agreed. You help me rescue Ace and I'll get back to the rocks. However, I need to train Ace before going back. Whitebeard makes the final decision. Make a deal. Yuri nodded with satisfaction. Then he stood up, looked at Sengoku on the execution platform, and spoke loudly. Sengoku. Garp. I just made a deal with Newgate. I helped him rescue Ace, and he followed me back to Rock's pirate. So, give me some face. You don't want to recreate the scene in the Valley of Gods, right? The Valley of Gods was instantly destroyed by Yuri's devil fruit power. If he used that ability again in Marineford, the nearly 100,000 Marines in Marine's coma would be wiped out. Thinking of this, Sengoku's expression changed. He knew Yuri was difficult to deal with, but he didn't expect it to be so difficult. Hateful. Yuri, there are hundreds of thousands of people here. Aren't you afraid of being called a devil? Sengoku knew Yuri from the past and knew that he was not a murderous person. In fact, he rarely kills his enemies. Even in the Valley of Gods, the hostile Marine only managed to inflict heavy damage with his sword. Yuri, he's a pirate who doesn't look like a pirate. Then I don't care. Didn't you already call me the devil who destroys the world? Why don't we start from here? Advertisement. In fact, Yuri had no intention of destroying Marineford at all. Moreover, the move he used last time in the Valley of Gods was accidentally unleashed by him. With his current level of control over Devil Fruit, he would not be able to release it at all before awakening. He was just bluffing Sengoku. If the bluff succeeds, it will be good for everyone. If the bluff fails, there will be no loss. A famous esports commentator in his previous life had a famous saying, if you don't lose, you make a profit. He made money. This guy, is he really planning to destroy this place? Sengoku frowned. He knows Yuri has this strength. Back in the Valley of the Gods, when rocks died in front of him, he had unleashed this devastating ability. Suddenly, Sengoku thought of something. Wrong. This guy is blowing me up. According to Vegapunk's analysis, Yuri's move requires extreme sadness to be released. His father died in front of him at the time, so he succeeded. Now that his only relative was dead, he could not return to a state of profound grief. He can't pull off this move. Rocks D. Yuri. Stop trying to scare people. This move of yours cannot be unleashed at all in your current state. Surrender. You have no chance of winning. Go back to the Impel Down Prison and I will save you from death. Sengoku spoke loudly to calm Marine down. As expected of the resourceful general, Sengoku. You discovered all this. Listening to Sengoku's words, Yuri shook his head helplessly. Suddenly, his tone was fierce. Who said that I could destroy Marineford with just one move? After saying that, he closed his eyes and pointed to the sky. Chapter 38 Feel the Power of God. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. In the world of One Piece, there are many ways to gain power. Haki, swordsmanship, taijutsu, devil fruit. It can give people powerful power, and country-destroying moves are not uncommon. However, most of the moves are accomplished with top-level devil fruit. Simply relying on physical strength or haki, the attack power is enough, but the destructive power is slightly lacking. Yuri's one is a brand new devil fruit that has never appeared in this world. His father Rocks lost his life for this fruit. Fortunately, the bet was won. This fruit is super powerful. Not only did Yuri gain eternal life, but he also became stronger every moment. The only fly in the ointment is, he only used it once after he swallowed the fruit and saw his father die. Then, he was imprisoned in the Impel Down Prison, wearing a seastone chain at all times, and had no way to study the fruit's abilities. Fortunately, top fruit is worthy of being top fruit. As soon as he got out of prison, he felt that he could control the magnetism around his body. Then, with the help of the scientific knowledge of magnetism generating electricity, electricity was derived. Electricity and magnetism combined to form the electromagnetic force, one of the four fundamental forces of the universe. Super electromagnetic gun. It was the first Emperor-level ability he invented. But this move is not suitable for release here. The power of the railgun is sufficient, but its destructive power is slightly lacking. Now, he needs a move that is enough to intimidate Sengoku, a move with super wide range and super destructive power. Just now, he felt a brand new power within his body. A super powerful energy that is different from electromagnetic force, but not weaker than electromagnetic force. This energy, the whole world, is everywhere. So, close your eyes and start feeling. ... Quote question mark quote. What's going on with this Yuri? Why did he close his eyes and put on such a weird pose? What is he doing? Please ask God. Haven't you heard? He wants to destroy Marineford. Are you kidding me? Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world and possessing shock fruit, the most powerful destructive power in the world, can't destroy Marineford. Just him. That's right. We have the three Marine admirals here, as well as the heroes Garp and Marshal Sengoku. No one in this world dares to talk about destroying Marineford in front of them. I think he probably had his plan exposed by Marshal Sengoku. He couldn't keep his face and his plan was ruined. Show it. Show it. I want to see what moves he can unleash. He can fart. Marshal Sengoku just said that his physical condition has not recovered at all. Let me see. He is now strong on the outside. All Marines have long been unhappy. Now they are not in a hurry to take action, and they all look at Yuri's jokes. Suddenly, Yuri moved. To be precise, his body slowly flew up into the sky under the influence of some kind of force. Seeing this scene, Sengoku frowned. He didn't know what Yuri was going to do. The five elders gave the order to die. Even if you kill Yuri, you must keep him. He didn't dare to be careless. Porosalino. Be prepared, don't let him get away. Marine 3 Admiral, powerful and at the same time clear division of labor. Akainu's molten berry fruit has the strongest attack power and is suitable for frontal combat. Kuzan frozen fruit has full control effect and is suitable for field control. Kazaru sparkling fruit, unparalleled speed, suitable for traveling. Even if Yuri really wanted to run, how could he run faster than the speed of light? Oh, I got it. I won't let him escape. Kazaru looked at Yuri in the air, and the light particles on his body began to move. Advertisement. Once he notices Yuri showing signs of escaping, he will immediately chase after him. Huh, what's going on? Hey, isn't he planning to run away? The expressions of all the Marines also changed drastically. With their fighting power, they now have the upper hand. Marshal Sengoku even gave an order to capture him here. He must not be allowed to escape. All the troops, aim the fort and shoot him down. Battery, start taking aim. Suddenly, everyone seemed to feel something. A pressure that was so strong that it made one's soul tremble came quickly from above. Everyone looked up quickly. But the sky, I don't know when, was covered by a thick layer of clouds. No one can see it at all. But they could feel that the pressure was coming from above the clouds. Hey, what happened? I don't know. I just feel that my body is shaking and my soul is trembling. It seems as if I will die in the next second. Me too. This feeling is so terrifying. But there is nothing in the sky. Could it be an illusion? Illusion. But if everyone has an illusion, then it is not an illusion. There is really something above the clouds, and it's coming soon. Oh, I feel bad. Do you want me to go take a look first? Kazaru frowned and asked Sengoku. Among the people present, he is the only one who can fly, so it would be best to go and investigate. Before you go, knock that guy down for me first. Sengoku gave the order. Understood. After saying that, Kazaru's body began to turn into light particles and dissipate. Just then, in the air Yuri opened his eyes. He stretched his hands forward, looked at everyone below, and spoke expressionlessly. Feel it. God's power. God. Do you call yourself God? No. Do you deserve it? In this world, only celestial dragons are qualified to call themselves gods. All Marines want to taunt. Suddenly, above the sky, the thick clouds exploded. A meteorite trailing a brilliant tail flame broke through the clouds. With unrivaled, all-suppressing wind pressure, it hit Marineford. As the meteorite approached, the light dimmed throughout the Marine headquarters. People are now wondering how big this meteorite is. Seeing this scene, everyone froze, and beads of sweat fell from their foreheads involuntarily. What is going on? Meteorite. A huge meteorite comparable to Marineford. Hey, it's impossible. How could a meteorite fall here? Did he summon this meteorite? It's over. We're done. Everyone's face was ashen. Only then did I know that this Yuri really has the ability to destroy the world. Advertisement. God's power. Hello. What exactly is this? Sengoku looked up at the sky and exclaimed as well. If a meteorite bigger than Marineford fell, the consequences could be disastrous. Sakazuki. Kuzan. Porosalino. Stop it. Sengoku ordered, and then fixed his gaze on Yuri. This guy. There is such a trick. This time, we must keep him completely. Hello. Yuri. If such an exaggerated meteorite really falls, we will suffer heavy casualties. Whitebeard frowned. On the battlefield, he didn't even dare to activate his shock fruit at full power. One is that the body cannot bear it. Second, Devil Fruit's ability does not distinguish between friend and foe. Once the full force is used, Marine's side will certainly suffer heavy casualties, and many people from the white group will die as well. Haha, it's just a meteorite. Let's give them a little greeting gift first. Yuri didn't care. If even this meteorite can't be stopped. With this little strength, Marine might as well disappear. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. The sky was dimly lit due to the falling meteorites. Suddenly, in the darkness, boundless light blooms. Kizaru Admiral came under the meteorite at the speed of light. Then, unleash his ultimate move. The light spots all over the sky continued to attack the meteorites. Boom, boom, boom. Explosions kept ringing in the air. Dust appeared all over the sky, covering all the meteorites. From the dust, countless small pieces of gravel scattered in all directions. Suddenly, under the execution platform, yellow light gathers. The figure of Kizaru Admiral appeared. Admiral is back. As expected of Kizaru Admiral, he destroyed such a huge meteorite. Kizaru Admiral is so awesome. Nonsense. The third Admiral is the highest combat power of our Marine and even the world government. All the Marines breathed a sigh of relief and cheered for the rest of their lives. But, many people still noticed. The expression on Kizaru's face was very serious. He looked at the sky and shook his head helplessly. It's really troublesome. Suddenly, the sky is shattered with smoke and dust. A meteorite that looked like the surface of the moon appeared again, still unstoppable, and hit Marineford. Advertisement. That's right. Admiral of Headquarters' unique skill. Only this meteorite, which is as big as an island, has left numerous craters. Other than that, nothing accomplished. This is not to say that Kizaru is not strong. But his 8-foot Magatama mainly focuses on range attacks, so its destructive power is naturally not enough. Plus, the power of light must be manifested through acceleration. The meteorite fell so fast that it gave him no chance to speed up. And this blow just now, a lot of time was wasted. The meteorite is now less than a kilometer away from Marineford. The huge wind pressure has begun to destroy the buildings on the island. Sakazuki. Kuzan. We're going to take action together. Kizaru knew that he could no longer stop the meteorite on his own. So, he put his hands on Akainu and Aokiji's shoulders. Phew. A burst of light shone. Kizaru took Akainu and Aokiji to the sky and under the meteorite. Pillar of light. It was still Kizaru who attacked first. However, this time he did not use bulk 8-foot Magatama. Instead, it uses countless lights to form a beam of light and shoots it towards the meteorite. The purpose is not to break the meteorite, but to slow down the falling speed of the meteorite. Ice Age. Immediately afterwards, Aokiji took action. At this time, The height of the meteorite was only nearly 100 meters higher than the previously frozen giant wave. Kuzan went all out and once again created two huge icebergs connected together based on the original ice wave. And Akainu stood on top of the iceberg. Meteor volcano. As Akainu punched out, giant lava fists like meteors rushed towards the meteorite. Every blow can blast the meteorite into a huge crater. With Akainu's continuous attacks and Kizaru's beam of light impact, the meteorite finally slowed down. At this time, the iceberg created by Kuzan also spread. Gradually it condensed into a pair of giant ice hands, dragging the decelerating meteorite in its hands. Then the ice spread, freezing the entire meteorite to death. Finally, with the combined power of three admirals, the meteorite stopped. From a distance, the sky above Marineford seemed to grow a pair of giant hands of ice, dragging a huge ice ball in its hands. Under the huge meteorite, the three admirals breathed a sigh of relief. In order to stop this meteorite, they spent a lot of effort. Hiss. Finally stopped. Phew. We're saved. As expected of the third admiral, so powerful. People on the battlefield, whether they are Marines or pirates, feel like they are surviving a disaster. As expected of the third Marine Admiral of this era, he can actually block the power of God. It's no weaker than the previous generation Sengoku Zephyr. Looking at this scene, Yuri admired. Suddenly, there was a hint of joking in the corner of his mouth. So, what's next? Everyone was at a loss. Suddenly, the gathering clouds in the sky broke through again. Another meteorite, equally huge, fell from the sky. The second one is here. Chapter 39 next, It's All Out War. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Yuri didn't know the name of the devil fruit he ate. He would have known the moment you eat it. But he just ate it. Then he witnessed his father's death. The true power of devil fruit emerges from his extreme sadness. When he woke up again, he was already imprisoned in the Impel Down Prison. Because of the sea stone, he lost his connection with devil fruit. I also forgot the name of devil fruit. But, just now, he noticed that devil fruit contained another ability that was different from electromagnetic force. The same as the four fundamental forces, gravity. With the help of this gravitational force, he pulled down a meteorite from the low Earth orbit of this world. When Marine 3 Admiral tried his best to stop one. When everyone breathed a sigh of relief and cheered for the survivors. He smiled. I didn't tell you. There is only one meteorite. So, what should you do with this next one? The second meteorite broke through the clouds. In the eyes of everyone, with disbelief, he fell from the sky. No way. The first one was intercepted by the three admirals together, and the second one came right away. It's over. It's over. We're done. We're going to sink into the sea with Marineford. Don't worry, everyone, I trust the three admirals. Yes. The three admirals are the most powerful of our Marines. If they can stop the first one, the second one will be no problem. Sakazuki Admiral, come on. Kuzan Admiral, you are the most handsome, stop them. Perosolino Admiral, let us see the power of light. Charge. This moment, even the three admirals couldn't help but change their expressions. If they were one-on-one, these meteorites would have no effect on them. They have many ways to avoid being harmed or even completely destroy the meteorite. But now, this is Marine headquarters. They could only fight head-on and block the meteorite in the sky. But the second meteorite came faster than the first one, and before they could take action, it had already hit the first one. The ice surrounding the meteorite was instantly shattered and collapsed. Amid everyone's infinite horror, the first meteorite that was immobilized by the combined efforts of the three admirals moved. The giant ice hand dragging him below also began to make a terrifying breaking sound, and everyone seemed to hear the sound of their own hearts breaking. First, he killed 100,000 people with one strike, and then he killed 100,000 people with one look, and finally he summoned meteorites to destroy the island. Is this what Marshal Sengoku said, a terrifying power that can destroy the world? The power of God. Their hearts were desolate and they could not feel any hope of survival. For the first meteorite, all three admirals have used their ultimate moves, so who will block the second one? This guy. Are you going to kill us all together? Even if they are allies for the time being, Crocodile is still very angry at the moment. The first meteorite is nothing more. Marine will try its best to intercept it in order to prevent the headquarters from being destroyed. But the second one, combined with the previous one, might not be able to be stopped by the three admirals. Once the meteorite hits the ground, Marineford will definitely be completely destroyed. Then someone with his ability will definitely die. Damn guy. What a mess. After saying that, his body turned into wild sand and climbed towards the huge ice palm in the sky. In order to survive, he planned to help interception. There are many people who think like him. Doflamingo, Dashong, Ivankov, Jinbei and others all knew that the situation was critical at this moment and took action one after another. At this moment, Marine, pirates, and the Revolutionary Army joined forces to fight the power from Yuri. Oh, advertisement. Interesting. Seeing several guys who were enemies of each other unite in order to survive, a smile appeared on Yuri's lips. I seem to have seen the future. Rock's pirate dominates the sea. The Roger pirates and Marine, as well as the Celestial Dragon's 5 elders, the Knights of God, teamed up to deal with him. Well, wait until Yuri restores the glory of Rock's pirate. Will this scene happen again? Think about it. I'm still looking forward to it. Above Marineford, the giant ice hand drags the bead. On the arms, several figures were climbing upwards quickly. Suddenly, a green slash passed over the crowd, flying toward the meteorite in the sky with a sharp whistling sound. It's Hawkeye taking action. Although the attack range of swordsmen is not the largest, in terms of destructive power, even the top Devil Fruit and top Hawkeye are not as good as it. Phew. The sky is green. After a crisp sound, the top of the second meteorite suddenly lost 1/3. This is the terrifying strength of the world's greatest swordsman. Well done, Mahawkboy. Now there are only 2.5 left. Let's destroy them all in one fell swoop. Galaxy Wink. Erosion of Reincarnation. Emloculent Karate. Secret Art. Oniwa Shoken. 16 rounds of Holy Bullets God's Killing. Bear Impact. 8-foot Beautiful Magatama. Ice Age. Meteor Volcano. These disaster level and even Emperor level experts used their full strength. In conjunction with Marine 3 Admiral's attack, it flew towards the only half of the meteorite left. Finally, only half of the meteorite left came to a complete stop. The first meteorite lost its external impact and went from shaky to stable again. Huh, it's so dangerous. Yes, we were almost all going to die here. Thanks to the 3 admirals and the 7 warlords of the sea. Damn it, it's all this evil pirate Yuri's fault. He really wants to destroy Marineford. HMPH. He summoned 2 meteorites one after another in an attempt to force Marshal Sengoku to negotiate terms with him. Now his evil plan has failed. This is all a delusion. Yes, I don't believe that he can summon a 3rd meteorite like this. All Marines breathe a sigh of relief. Immediately, anger rose in his heart. They desperately want to kill the culprit that caused all this. Seeing the outrage among the people, Sengoku felt that it was time to launch an attack. Everyone ready to fight. Target the entire Whitebeard pirates. And Captain Rock's pirate, Rock's D. Yuri. No matter life or death. Marine roared loudly. Those still standing on the battlefield now have the strength of lieutenants and generals or above. Each one was like a tiger coming out of its cage and rushing towards the pirates. Fully half of them. He actually rushed towards Yuri alone. Go to hell. Damn pirate. An evil guy like you will die here today. Looking at Marine getting closer and closer, Yuri shook his head helplessly. It seems that Sengoku still doesn't intend to negotiate. Seriously. I won't shed tears until I see the coffin. In that case, enjoy my last gift. After saying that, he opened his hands and embraced the sky. Fruit ability, fully activated. This posture. No, he's going to use that move again. Marine, who was charging forward, was instantly stopped in place with fear. Look up and look at the sky. Unspeakable terror swept through the body and mind instantly. No, this isn't true. Advertisement. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Is this really the power of God? Only the sky is visible. The 3rd meteorite. A huge meteorite, twice as big as the previous two, smashed through the clouds. As if blocking out the sky and the sun, it flew towards Marineford. If the first two meteorites fall, there is still a possibility that Marineford will exist. If this one falls, all of Marineford will disappear completely. The greater the mass, the greater the speed. Before anyone could say anything, the third meteorite had already arrived in the sky. At this moment, everyone's expressions changed. Phew. Another huge slash. Hawkeye struck again, flying towards the third meteorite with a green slash. But what shocked everyone was that the slash that could separate the second meteorite could only leave a deep mark on the meteorite. Not even the world's best swordsman could easily deploy this meteorite with his slashes. Everyone. You can't hold back anymore. 7 warlords of the sea, marine and 3 admirals all took action again. But this time, it was different from the previous 2 times. The 7 warlords of the sea's attack has no effect. Only the attack of Naval Headquarters 3 Admiral can be slightly slowed down, and it is only slightly slowed down. Damn it. Our attacks have no effect. Yuri has gone too far this time, we may all be blamed here. Ivankov was completely at his wit's end. Suddenly, he saw Heavenly Yaksha leaving the crowd. Hey. Doflamingo, why are you running? Foo. This kind of attack can no longer be stopped by human power. I don't want to die here. Seeing that the situation was not good, Doflamingo used his fruit power and directly hung up the line and flew towards the distance. Although there isn't much of a difference between having a 7 warlords of the sea or not. But when Doflamingo ran away, it meant that people were dissatisfied and the situation was over. Everyone below, both Marines and pirates, were heartbroken. Suddenly, on the execution platform, there is golden light shining. This is my chassis. I saw Sengoku's body, stretched against the wind, and instantly transformed into a giant Buddha tens of meters tall, emitting golden light all over his body. Then he raised his hands and swung upwards, fiercely. Buddha's impact. Golden light waves flew quickly towards the meteorite above. What is that? Suddenly, everyone saw a small white figure next to Sengoku's golden shock wave. It's Vice Admiral Garp. Marshal Sengoku and Hero Garp have taken action. Garp's figure looks very small compared to Sengoku's giant Buddha. But no one can ignore his presence. I saw him leaping high and in an instant he was under the huge meteorite. Then, he stretched out his pitch-black fist and swung it upwards. Fist-bone impact. Moment. The fierce fist wind roared. Endless black lightning raged around him. Boom. Garp's attack and Sengoku's shock wave hit the meteorite hard. Everyone was surprised to find that the meteorite miraculously stopped. But it only stopped for a moment. Ice gloves. Fist and bone impact. Speed is power. Light speed kick. Dark hound. At this time, the 3 admirals also joined in the attack. Finally, this meteorite showed signs of stopping. But, it's just a sign. This extremely huge meteorite, with an unstoppable momentum, slowly moved downwards again. Everyone had nowhere to rely on in the air, so they could only watch the meteorite speeding up faster and faster. Advertisement. It's over. The 3 admirals, plus the Marshal and Vice Admiral Garp, can't stop us. We're really going to be finished. Damn it. It's only a little bit close. Yes. Just a little bit closer. But this point is like a natural chasm. Just when everyone was in despair. Suddenly, a clicking sound sounded. Everyone turned to look and saw Whitebeard on the Moby Dick, using all his strength, punching the air beside him. The atmosphere instantly cracked. The crack spread rapidly towards the sky. Then it hit the meteorite hard. At this moment, Hawkeye swung his sword again, and huge slashes followed. Finally, with the joint efforts of 7 powerful emperors, this meteorite, which was larger than Marineford, shattered. Rubbles were scattered everywhere, and the damage was still considerable. But before comparison, I don't know how much better it is. Phew. I'm saved. Humph. All this is because of that evil guy. Yes. Marshal Sengoku said he was the devil who could destroy the world, and he was absolutely right. There are hundreds of thousands of people on this island. Once the meteorite falls, there will be countless casualties. This Yuri really deserves to die. This time, we had to rely on Whitebeard to save us. What a shame. It doesn't matter. There is a saying in the Kingdom of Flowers, if you are a good person, you will get a lot of help, but if you are a bad person, you will have few help. His evil behavior, even his allies can't stand it. The use of weapons of mass destruction is unpopular in any era. Massacre in ancient times. Nuclear weapons now. As well as the super large-scale destructive attacks that are currently underway. You're one-on-one, and you can play however you want. Even if you blow up the island, no one will say anything to you. Instead, they will praise you, you are so awesome. But, as long as you dare to harm innocent people. If you attack someone who is far weaker than yourself and carry out massacre attacks, someone will definitely condemn you. Even if you are attacking the enemy. Hey, Yuri. You've gone too far this time. Whitebeard turned his head and looked at Yuri very seriously. If he doesn't take action this time, let the meteorite fall. There will also be many members of the Whitebeard pirates who will die here. Looking at the somewhat angry Whitebeard, Yuri shook his head helplessly. He was helpless. It's not that the attack didn't work. It wasn't that Whitebeard was angry because of his behavior. But it's helpless. Sengoku, this old guy, has a really tough temper. Even at this critical moment of life and death, we still have no intention of negotiating. As for the damage caused by meteorites, please, even if the meteorite he pulled down can't be sent back the way it came, he can't stop it by himself, but he can use gravity to deflect it. There was ice everywhere, not even a huge wave could form. So, this seemingly sudden move was just a way for Yuri to negotiate with Sengoku. Kill 100,000 people. He never thought about it. Even if his current identity is a pirate. He is the son of the most evil man in the world. It seems it didn't work. Yuri smiled incredulously, and then looked at Whitebeard. The next step is a tough battle. Are you ready? Gu la 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 la. Whitebeard stamped his naginata on the ground and looked forward with a smile on his face. It has been prepared for a long time. I don't want my beloved son to wait for a long time. In that case, let's start a full-scale war. But before. Suddenly, Yuri disappeared. When he reappeared, he had already come behind Whitebeard. With his incredulous expression, he launched an attack. We have to clean up this indecisive guy like you. Pung. Blood splashes. Chapter 40 Whitebeard. You are becoming more and more domineering, Yuri. Captain. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The accident happened so suddenly. On the battlefield, everyone was stunned. They never expected that when Yuri made his first direct attack, the target he would choose would be his teammates. Dad. The white team captains who rushed towards Marine were stunned. They don't understand why they would move against their father. Weren't the two of them once partners? Weren't the two of them toasting to each other just now? Didn't the two of them just reach a cooperation agreement a few minutes ago? How suddenly, everything changed. Isn't it because Dad didn't agree with you returning to the Rocks group, so why did you kill him? Damn it, Yuri, I must kill you. After regaining consciousness, there was endless confusion and anger. The captains hurriedly turned back and planned to rescue Dad. Marine, on the other hand, was also confused. What's the situation? The two of them are not allies. Is what Yuri said before true? The purpose of his coming here is to send some old guys on the battlefield back to the west. Holy shit. He's serious. After the confusion, there was ecstasy. Whitebeard, New World 4 Emperors, recognized as the strongest man in the world. The reason why Marine has assembled such a powerful fighting force is to deal with him. Now, the strongest fighting force has fallen. Another equally terrifying enemy, Yuri of Rock's pirate, will also be endlessly hunted by the white team captains for betraying his allies. Seriously. God bless me Marine. Pirates are pirates, a bunch of unscrupulous trash. They have just formed an alliance and can kill it in a second, so that's what they can do. That's right. All pirates in this world should die. For justice, let's catch them all today. Happiness came so suddenly, and the Marines relaxed and planned to watch and eat. The white team captains quickly rushed back to the Moby Dick. Suddenly, the heavily wounded Whitebeard spoke. Do not come. After stopping his sons, Whitebeard did not look back and said in a cold tone, Hey. Yuri, Even if you do such a thing, you have to give me a reasonable explanation, right? Dad, if you need any more explanation, let us kill him. As expected, the devil who plans to destroy the entire Marineford regardless of the safety of his companions has no emotions at all. Dad, on the execution platform hundreds of meters away, Ace also saw this scene and cried out in grief. 570 inches, damn it. Yuri, you guy. I must kill you. Definitely. He wanted to rush down and kill Yuri, but unfortunately he was bound by chains and couldn't break free. He could only scream incompetently. How is this going? No matter how nervous Luffy is, he realizes that something is wrong. His eyes are full of doubts. Hey. Yuri. What are you doing? Hey. No. Yuri is in charge, and he actually takes action against Whitebeard. Luo frowned, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't figure out the reason. Hateful. Yuri. You guy. Edward Newgate. He's mine. Crocodile was extremely angry and rushed towards Yuri. Dad. And Mr. Yuri. Jinbei's eyes widened and his nervous fish brain made him still in shock. Scare. Brother Yuri. Hasn't he sobered up yet? Buggy was so frightened that the live phone bug in his hand fell to the ground, and he dropped the little pearl in a grieved manner. Advertisement. This is very painful for the viewers watching the live broadcast. This live broadcast was too shocking for them. Sengoku announces world-shaking news that Ace is the son of Pirate King Sir Roger. The world's strongest man, Whitebeard, takes action, and a huge wave and tsunami hundreds of meters high sweeps across the entire Marine headquarters. Admiral of Headquarters shows its strength, the frozen sea, the brilliant and terrifying light particles, and the meteorite-like meteor volcano. The terrifying slashes of the world's greatest swordsman. Monkey D. Luffy, the biological grandson of marine hero Garp and the biological son of Revolutionary Army leader Dorag, appears. But this is not as good as the next person. Rocks D. Ace. A terrifying pirate who has been imprisoned in Impel Down Prison for 36 years. The devil that Sengoku calls the one who destroys the island with one blow and wants to destroy the world. Defeat the Eagle Eye / head on. With one look, nearly 100,000 people can be seen in an instant. Summon the 3 meteorite companies and let Marine, Pirates and Shichibukai jointly attack. Originally, everyone thought that they would see the world's strongest and the world-destroying demon team up to fight Marine. Unexpectedly, the moment the war just started, Yuri hits Whitebeard hard. Then, there's no after that. Hey, where's the live broadcast? What's going on? Where are the live phone bugs on the battlefield? Whose feet are they filming? It's so ugly. Damn it, I'm seeing something wonderful, please switch back to the scene. The viewers of the live broadcast were very anxious, and they eagerly wanted to know what would happen next. Marine Headquarters, Marineford. Everyone in the white group planned to attack Yuri, regardless of their father's stop. Crocodile, he was involved. But, not waiting for them to leave. Behind Whitebeard, Yuri's voice came. Explain. Ha. After a chuckle, Yuri walked out. In his hand, he held a tall figure with a mouth full of blood and struggling. As this, Skuyard, nicknamed Big Vortex Spider, captain of the Vortex Spider Pirates. In the New World, after being completely wiped out by the Roger Pirates, he joined the Whitebeard Pirates and became one of the 43 pirate ships in the New World. He is strong and has the strength to be equal to the 6 members of the Kaido group. Only then did everyone understand that Yuri suddenly took action, not to sneak attack Whitebeard, but to deal with him. It's just that because Whitebeard's body is too tall, and all the people in the white group rushed out, no one noticed the situation behind him at all. A big oolong. It turned out to be a misunderstanding. But even so, Yuri, you guy, what do you mean by taking action against our white group members? That's right. Skuyard has no enmity against you, so why did you attack him? Damn it. Skuyard is our brother. If you take action against him, you are taking action against us. If you don't give me a reason, I will kill you. Knowing that their father was fine, the white team captains were relieved, but they were still very angry. Hello, Yuri. There has to be an explanation, right? Whitebeard knows Yuri and knows that he is not that kind of person. However, Even Yuri must be justified in taking action against his son. You want a reason? You should ask him yourself. Yuri threw Skeward in front of Whitebeard, then stepped aside and watched calmly. Skeward glanced at Yuri not far away with vigilance and fear. He was extremely shocked by Yuri's strength. The seemingly short guy grabbed his throat in just a moment, making him vomit blood and unable to struggle. Advertisement. Well now, he is far away. Hey, Skeward, why did Yuri attack you? Marco, ask the question everyone wants to know. Skeward glanced at Marco and then at the nearby white team leader. A trace of sadness and hatred flashed in his eyes. He glanced at Ace in the distance and the naval headquarters 3 admiral who was ready to go, and sighed in his heart. He remembered what the big man said, and suddenly infinite anger surged in his heart. Go to hell, Whitebeard. He grabbed the long knife on the ground and rushed towards Whitebeard, his eyes full of anger and hatred. Looking at his son as if looking at an enemy, Whitebeard's heart trembled slightly. He didn't know what he had missed to make his son, who had been with him for decades, hate him so much. For a moment, he lost consciousness and did not choose to escape. Dad. The sword was about to stab Whitebeard. A green flame figure descended from the sky and kicked Siad away. Looking at his kicked ABFF brother rolling on the ground, Marco was furious. Skeward, do you know what you are doing? How dare you take action against Dad? Don't you know that the rules of the white group are that you cannot hurt your partners no matter what? Why? Marco asked again with an angry face. Skeward, what happened? Tell me quickly. We are always here. The white team captains arrived belatedly, with concern in their eyes. Skeward looked around at his brothers with concern, his eyes becoming more and more sad. Always there. Brothers, we are going to die. I was betrayed by the seemingly kind-hearted Dad, in front of me. At this time, Whitebeard spoke. He looked at Skeward, with a hint of exhaustion in his voice. If a son wants to attack his father, then there must be something wrong with me as a father. Whitebeard doesn't blame Skeward. Instead, he took the initiative to blame himself for the mistakes. But in Skeward's eyes, it was even more hypocritical. He looked at the confused and ignorant brothers around him, and he became more and more angry. Okay, I'll say it. As he roared at Whitebeard, he was full of questions. Whitebeard, Ace is the son of Roger, the Pirate King. You plan to train him to be the next Pirate King. So, in order to save him, you cooperated with Marine and planned to sacrifice the entire Whitebeard pirates in exchange for Ace's freedom. That's right, hypocritical Whitebeard. As soon as these words came out, the whole audience was shocked. Whitebeard wants to sacrifice the entire white group in exchange for Ace. How can this be? Of course, everyone felt that this was not impossible. Compared with the entire Marine, the strength of the Whitebeard pirates is significantly different. Even so, Whitebeard still mobilized troops to come. Doesn't he know that in order to save his son Ace, many other sons will die? We are all sons, why should we favor one over the other? Is it possible that a son with the identity of, the only bloodline of the Pirate King, is more valuable than the rest of us? Skeward, what are you talking about? How could Dad be such a person? Yes, Skeward, you must have done something wrong. Hey, Skeward, who told you this? The white team captains were full of disbelief. But what Skeward said was so true. Based on their understanding of Skeward, he was not a liar. For a moment, the captains of the white group were a little confused. At this time, dull footsteps sounded. Whitebeard, walking heavily. He walked towards Skeward with an expressionless pace. With the naginata in his hand, he stamped the ground every time he took a step. Advertisement. The surrounding atmosphere began to tremble. Everyone knows that Dad is angry. But why is Dad angry? Is it because what Skeward said is true? Everyone doesn't want to believe this fact, but right now. Whitebeard kept walking, getting closer to Skeward. The aura on his body became more and more terrifying. Finally, he came to Squad, stretched out his hand, and grabbed Squad. Hey, Dad. Skeward may have been deceived, so he did things that hurt his companions. Don't kill him. The white team captains thought that Dad was going to kill Skeward. Even Skeward himself thought so too, with a pale face and a despairing heart. He knows his father's strength. In front of his father, he had no chance of survival. Suddenly, it was beyond everyone's expectations. Whitebeard held the stunned Skeward in his arms and spoke in pain. My silly son. In my eyes, you are all the same. Even if you are the one who was arrested today, Dad, I will do my best to rescue you. Because we are a family. Whitebeard's words instantly broke Skeward's heart. The scenes in Bai Tuan came to mind. Yes, we are a family. Dad, I have never favored anyone. Finally, Skeward understood. Dad is still the same dad, he has never changed. What has changed is yourself. Because they learned that Ace is the son of their enemy Roger, but they forgot that Ace is also his brother. Skeward came to his senses and cried. Crying with grief. Looking at his crying son, Whitebeard became angry. This is the first time since entering the battlefield that I have been so angry. Gu la la la. Sengoku, this must be your handiwork. It feels so familiar after a long absence. After that, he looked at the white group members around him and roared to the sky. Sons, did you see that Marine also used this method to deal with us? It shows that we have made them afraid. In that case, what are you waiting for? Come on, save our family, save your brother, Ace. Upon hearing this, the leader of the white team let out a thundering roar and began to charge. Whitebeard looked at Yuri, who was eating melon on the side. Thank you this time. I will definitely do what I promised you as long as I don't die. Looking at Whitebeard in front of him, Yuri smiled relaxedly. Ah, you are my Rock's pirate crew member. Wanna die? Did you get my permission? When Whitebeard heard this, he was stunned for a moment, and then laughed. Gu la 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 la. After 36 years of not seeing each other, you are really becoming more and more Hawkeye. Yuri, Captain. After saying that, he stepped forward and rushed to the battlefield. On the execution platform, Sengoku looked serious. Coming. The strongest man in the world. And the son of a sea overlord with the power to destroy the world. Here they come.